Alright, let's get this show on the road. Updated the title like 5 times, so realistically we should be good. Let's see how everything goes today. I see an LAV on Blue Force side. I'm wondering if that gun is replaced with the 50 cal or if it's an actual autocannon, but looking at the assets I'm seeing across the way on Green 4, I don't think there's any need for it to be an autocannon. It can just be a 50. Because the LAV also has zoom-in capability, I think, so it should be able to snipe out that 80 very easily, but the MTLB also has a KPTVT on it, so that should be okay. Maybe, possibly, we'll see, but regardless, how is everyone doing? We will hear. I had to make Bloodwing some chocolate lava cake, so I had a, let's see. I had a spare egg white left over, so you might notice there's a fan favorite command back. And feel free to encourage my bad behavior. Alright, otherwise we're waiting for everyone to jump in on the server. We'll be covering all 3 rounds tonight. I've got my little highlighter ready to go. After that, I'm debating if I either want to take a break or go right into mission dev. Depends on anything else that may or may not be going on. But we'll just have to see how all that goes. Really what I need to do today is double down on some mission development, get ahead of the ball with everything, and then probably some editing, and then probably formulate a plan of trying to look for a new DayZ server, because I kind of need that income back with you guys bullying me. Or, I guess in the short term, we can finish up Subnautica. Long term, we gotta find another DayZ server, but that's okay. Just been working on so many different fronts right now, so we'll see how everything goes. Just trying to constantly evolve the work-life balance and the Arma 3 development balance, you know, going from crazy project to crazy project, but I think we're going to be good for now. At least in the short term. Midterm, who the hell knows. What missions will I be deving? This weekend's SCP op, and then something that was going to be for Sunday, but it looks like we're going to move it back a week because we already have a good chunk of the player base saying they'll be busy this Sunday, and it's going to require more than the standard 12 for the RT Columbia stuff. And then beyond that, if I feel like doing more, then we'll see, because I do have some World War II stuff I need to dev too, so if I'm ahead of the game, I mean, let's see. World War II on Monday needs to be announced on Saturday, so yeah, I should probably get that developed as well. So 3 mission files,
One
give or
more
take.
month.
And then I'll just finish up the evening with some editing, right? But Zevik, thanks for the 25-month resub. I hope you keep enjoying the operations, and I do hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. I'm also going to run a community town hall tomorrow. Debating if I'll stream it or not. Probably won't, but you never know. That's just going to be me going over everything on my community, so... Damn, Don. Killing me with that today. But, yeah, no, I mean, just going through the motions here. I think I'm finally ready to officially cement my Discord as a quote-unquote community with that town hall stuff and explain how everything works as I've, you know, played around with multiple systems over the past few months, and I think I finally have something down that I'm ready to, you know, set as a system going forward, so we'll see how all that goes. Speaking of, I'm going to check on my phone locally on Discord just to see if anyone has any questions about that announcement I gave. But this evening, I was hoping to do an Arma 3 op at 8, but it looks like where I was going to play one didn't end up happening, which is perfectly fine. Just means we'll work on mission dev. And then I can, you know, sneak in some time for editing. Oh, God, Don, what did it get? Okay. Thank you, Don. I appreciate it. Because I'm debating running a World War II op on Wednesday and Monday, And then maybe on Friday evening we can start up the 2 new branches of ops we're going to be doing, which one is going to be a last ship campaign, and the other one's going to be a Halo arc. So that's going to require some experimentation next week, probably Monday and Tuesday to be working on that. All right, cool. No one's asking any questions on the announcement, so that means I don't have to deal with it. Ha! Excellent. But nonetheless, Don, can you check if both hydrates are on? And if both hydrates aren't on, can you turn on both hydrates? Because I have a lovely little smooth drink over here. Which, now the foam's dying down. Oh, man. I made that way too smooth. Modadic did use both 4 minutes ago. All right, well, there we go. I caught up with it. They're just on cooldown. Got it. But yeah, no, the concoction I made was a combination of lime juice, which I used lime because I was out of lemon. Lime juice, a little bit of maple syrup in place of simple syrup, apple cider, and proper 12 whiskey apple. With an egg white, which just adds a foaminess to it. And it's, oh, and a little bit of Sprite as a soda. Not mixed with it, but finished at the end. And that thing is way too damn smooth for the fact that it has 5 shots of whiskey in it. So, you know, I'm just losing my sanity slowly but surely. But I hope you're having a wonderful Friday, all of you. And hope you enjoyed Pay for Pain yesterday as much as I did. That was a pretty good one. And I can't wait to see what their results are on what they choose, because if they turn Saddam in, they'll get one campaign, and if they opt to work for him, they get a different campaign. And I get to bring that meme to life. But I'm going to probably run that campaign for 2 more campaigns either way, and then find a way to quote-unquote reset the campaign and run it again with better workings. Just so I can rebalance everything. It was an experience and a half? Hell yeah. That's what I shoot for. I'm hoping by the next time we run a Pay for Pain, I can run it within my own community framework. Because that's been steadily growing. But, you know, only time will tell. I think I finalized YouTube uploading schedules. Now I just have to double down on the PvP Shenanigans channel. Not on an uploading schedule, but just providing all the content for that, because I'm really behind in it. But that can be done over the weekend. And then once I get all that stuff sorted away, I can work on this new idea I have. And then while that's being worked on, I need to double down on editing and immediately getting massive front logs in order, and then, you know, maintaining my status quo of anywhere from like 5 to 12 ops done every week. Oh, this week, I mean, it's going to be 1 op on Sunday now, 1 op on Monday, 1 op on Wednesday, because I decided I'm not going to do a Tuesday op because I'm going to use break day. Thursday's going to have an op, Friday is potentially going to have an op, and Saturday is going to potentially have an op, so that's 6 ops. But then next Sunday is probably going to be a double as well, so my median right now is usually anywhere from, I want to say 5 to 9. I haven't had to do a 12 in a while, but I always mention it because it can happen if I have a double commission and I have to do 2 or even 3 ops on a weekend. God, those days are wild, though, because it's nothing but me, usually sleep deprived because I have to make everything last minute or keep up with what's coming up in the following day.
Now. 32 months.
And then just coffee chaos. But Keenan, thanks for the 32-month resub. I hope you keep enjoying the operations, and I hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. Pickled, it'll be worked towards that. And there may or may not be a bonus mission involving everyone crewing something on a certain vehicle, but, you know, we'll get there when we get there. But I intend for the last campaign mission of the second campaign to be something very unique. Hey, Sparkle, what's up? So, you know, you'll just have to wait and see. Based on the fact that Temblin campaign took 2.5 months on paper.
Send in
We did do a few
Goatee
missions
6
in the middle of it
now.
as well.
I like to give this man money for what he does.
Thank you, Sparkle, for the 3-month resub. I hope the lava cake pictures were good. And hope everything's going okay in the group chat. And whenever we see Mal, we can cheer him up. But thank you for everything. I appreciate it. But judging from how the other two campaign, the previous Temblin campaign went for Pog, I'd imagine we're going to finish up the arc I have planned for them probably in 4 months, give or take. So that's going to be, what, April, May, June, July. So probably around August, we'll do the grand reset. But I also want to possibly change up the mod set a bit as well. Ah, T-Far noises. All right. Can I have one of the moderators put a prediction up? Let's go ahead and talk about the mission here. So it looks like Green 4 is going to be starting down at a patrol outpost right there. They're going to be assaulting 3 different sectors here. How many times have we seen this AO done?
Team 6 now.
Between
For noises.
OFCRA and I almost said POG. Patch, FNF. This is like the second time I've seen this one done in FNF, and including OFCRA, this will be the 3rd time. You know what I mean? Oh my gosh, Dova, you're actually here. How are you doing? But DM Phobia, thanks for the 12-month resub. That gets you a Lance Corporal badge. Thank you so much for all your support. I hope you keep enjoying the operations, and I do hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. You're tired? Me too, buddy. Me too. I'm going to be honest, I do not remember the results of either OFCRA or FNF match that happened here. All I know is that this is a decent Overwatch position, but without proper magnified optics, the attackers can easily rush up there. I feel like this is a carbon copy, though, of a previous AO. You know, no, it's coming back to me. Pierce was commanding the assault. And Scandi, like, flanked around and got screwed? Because they did, like, a battle line down here, and then Scandi went around on their own? Wait, no, didn't they win? Gosh, I can't remember. It was, I think, back in February. So this is a rerun with different assets, and it looks like they also made a land clearing over here to let people get to that other MSR. If you guys remember this one better than me, feel free to bring up the result for who won it, but we'll see who's on what side at this point, who's even showed up tonight. I think we're up to only around 90 players, which means it's going to rely a lot more on the shorts, on the small-scale tactics of individual players rather than the macro of things, and vehicles will also play a much more vital part. So Blue Fort, that LAV-25, honestly, if they just put it on an Overwatch position and let it snipe people with either an autocannon or a 50 cal, which I'm leaning towards it has a 50. But we'll see how it goes. How do they make the borders on the map? They use a special script, and I don't have access to it, otherwise I would give it to you. All right, so we see Blue 4 down here. Here's the LAV. I'll look on the roster, even though it sometimes is Ron. I already see some members of Pepega down. I see Pierce down. All right. Let's go ahead and look at the mission here. Made by Banks. A rebel group is attacking a U.S. base that are out on, or U.S. enemy, wait. Attacking an enemy base while Blue 4 is out on patrol. Okay. So, rebels are attacking a base. Blue 4 is out on patrol. Rebels are going to go up and hit the, U.S. That's fine. Black line leading from end of war spawn is a road. All right. Sector timer is set to higher default. It's 90 seconds instead of 60. All right, cool. I always thought it was 90, but I guess it is 60 by default. So how ad sector works is Blue 4 have to defend, in this case, Blue 4, in general, the defenders have to hold at least one sector or wipe the entire enemy force before the timer ends. The attackers have to either take all 3 sectors or wipe the entire defending force before the 50-minute timer ends. FNF rounds are 15 minutes of safe start to build a plan and set up defenses or set up an assault plan, and then 50 minutes of go in and do the objective. So the rounds are shorter than other PvP events I cover. But they do multiple rounds every week, so usually 3. This is round 1, by the way. Is the prediction up? Because I actually don't see it. Don, you got the prediction? Or am I just blind? But either way, how a sector is taken, in this case for the operation, The attackers, once they enter the sector, if the amount of attackers is greater than the defenders, the 90-second timer, it is up? Yeah, I just don't see it, so I guess I'm not getting the pop-up. That's weird. Oh well, something breaking. What else is new? If the attackers outnumber the defenders in the sector will start being taken. If at any point the attackers lose the number advantage in the sector, the timer stops and is reset. And once the attackers have the number advantage in the sector again, the timer will start counting down. Once the timer has been fully counted down, the sector is taken, and the sector cannot be recaptured by the defenders. Alrighty. So, with all of that explained, let's go ahead and look at our mission variables here. 1 kilometer of view distance, no magnified optics nor NVG equipment. Build points are going to be 150. By default, it's 125, and that lets Blue 4 usually put down 2 or 3 good defense lines. So adding another 25 points to that will help them reinforce that third line. Kawa, welcome to your first stream, buddy. Blue 4 does have mats, Green 4 does not, so the mat team is only going to be 1 round per unit. So usually it's 1 gunner and 2 assistants. So Olaf, he's got that AT, he's under Echo. So he's going to have the weapon, and then Seismo and Muniz are going to be the 2 assistants, so that means that team has 3 AT rounds in total. Blue 4 otherwise is going to be your modern American Army multicam camouflage kits. To break down the lingo here, you got your platoon leader, your platoon sergeant, squad leader, team leader. Team leaders have Grenadier, underbarrel grenade launchers, so that's going to either be a 203 or a 320 system. Auto rifleman with the light MG, rifleman assistant with extra ammo. Grenadier IR have the Hunt IR platform, which are 40mm camera grenades you can fire in the air and then use a terminal to interact with it. Cameras can be shot out of the sky and they'll fall down to the ground quicker. Really good for getting your bearings. Machine gunners have the medium machine guns, machine gunner assistance for them. These guys are only in Delta. Combat engineer have the explosives. They have a choice of 4 different boom booms. 4 tripwire mines, 2 being HE, 2 being flare, 3 AT mines, 4 explosive charges, or 2 explosive satchels. The charges and satchels you can also turn to throwables. Satchels will always blow up a building if it can be destroyed. Charges are usually for small explosives you throw into compounds to clear them out, but I would always take the satchels over the charges because the charges can be a bit unreliable. Light anti-tank, medium anti-tank, 1 and assistants. 2 and assistants are defunct, same with RA, RAS, and SMP. They're part of a group called X-Ray, which is no longer defunct. However, I have heard a rumor that they might be coming back. I can't confirm it, but I've heard a rumor. Designated marksman, there's 1 in Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie. Designated marksman rifle appears to be a Mark 11, which is a 20-round magazine. Actually, I forget if you can full auto or not. I don't think it's only single shot, but 7.62x51 NATO cartridge there. Then you got your crew leads, pilots, and then your medics and your base kit. Loadouts, I know it is news to you, Malin, but I know Malin is one of the admins of FNF, but I've heard a few things from a few people that are tied to that decision-making process that they might be pushing for things to come back, so we'll see. Otherwise, Blue 4 have the M16A4 or an M4A1, a choice between the weapons. M4A1, I think, is the full auto variant of the M16. I'm blanking on that right now, but otherwise you got a Glock 17. 249s are your light machine gun, 240 Golfs are your medium machine gun, so Alpha Bravo Charlie get the 249. Delta's going to get the 240 Golf. Light anti-tank's going to be the M136 and Alpha Bravo and Charlie, and then the MP7 or an M4A1 for any crew that are going to be tied to the LAV. Otherwise, assets are just going to be the LAV-25. Malin, does it have an autocannon or a 50 cal in place of this? Because I would like to know. I think it only has a 50. I'd be surprised if it had the autocannon. You know, I could be wrong about that DM phobia. Again, I always struggle to figure out which one has the burst only and which one has the full auto. But regardless, waiting on Malin to get back on that. The Green 4 guys are your generic camouflage insurgent kits. They've got AKMs or AKSs. Light machine gun's going to be RPK. Medium machine gun's going to be the PKP. LAT is going to be an RPG-7. PP 2000s or AKSs for any crew in aviation. Probably part of the BTR in the MTLB. Crew served weapons is going to be empty. They have a BTR to work with a KPTT turret down here. They have an MTLB with both the 7.62 gun and the additional KPVT turret. 4 off-roads, 1 Jeep Wrangler, 3 Hilux transports, Hilux with a Dishka, and an off-road with an M2. And those all have, you know, ammunition for penetrating into that LAV. Otherwise, looking at the roster here, starting with Blue 4, we got Curie commanding. Charlotte's going to be the 2IC for the commander there. Arcor leading Alpha, Banks as the medic. No marksman. Wait, no. So Arcor is the marksman, but there's no commander in there, so I assume he's going to be leading because everyone's gathered around him. That's kind of weird. Ash leading Alpha 1 with Major Consuelo, Wheaton, and Tackleberry down. Skipu, there's no Alpha 2. Interesting. Skipu's merged everyone in a squad together, so he is leading the entirety of Bravo with Drago, Polish Pepe, Dawodox, Rambo, Jeremy, Sleepy, Halmanaries, Kale, Blam, Arcane, Pygros, and Quebec. Charlie being led by Flux, Michael taking the marksman role, Artisan being the medic, Newton leading Charlie 1 with Pierce, Renly, Nicholas, Puma, and Rodrigue. Kane, Armored Jesus, because he got the slash in his name, leading Charlie 2 with Kane and roster. Delta being led by Norris with Bates as the 2IC, so he has that GL. Schultz as Delta Machine Gunner. And Deb as a Delta Machine Gunner. So it looks like they've only taken 2 slots on Delta and formed them up with the entirety of Delta instead of being in Delta 1 or Delta 2 to make just a fire team size element. Then you got Olaf leading Sismo and Muniz. I saw a leadership element here. I think he lagged out and he's reconnecting, but that's going to be your mat team. And then Lolo and Sam are being a dedicated vehicle crew for the LAV. Otherwise, Green 4 is going to be led by Depso with Timek as the 2IC. Steve leading Alpha with Das MG with a marksman rifle. I believe it's going to be an SVD.
Once it's captured.
And that is the case there. Vagrant's going to be the 2IC because he's got that GL, even though he doesn't have the slash in his name. Interesting. And Baron being a rifleman AT because they have a small element in Alpha and they've just merged everyone together. Okay. Pro Hunter being... So I think Vagrant's actually the GP25 gunner that might have the Hunt IR, but we'll see. Pro Hunter leading Bravo with Crazy as the 2IC with the GL. RB being the marksman and Gamer being the medic. Bravo 1 being led by... It doesn't have a leadership, so it falls to the machine gunner. That's Thompson with FIFA, Gogu, Martin, and Solomons. No leadership in Bravo 2, so it's Capta, Savan, and Lurch. Bluck leading Charlie with Pirate Sandwich as the 2IC, Ivno as the marksman, no medic taken. Lolo leading Charlie 1 with Bard, Bob, Kermit, and Wombat and Settler. Charlie 2 being led by Pogo Underscore with Polish Hater Zixmi, Autovisky, and Tim Kappa. Nemesis leading Delta with Azariah as the 2IC, Iander Plane, Medic Yanni Finn leading Delta 1 with Whiplash, Gaby, and Katza, and Nimia. Delta 2 being led by Feynman Finn with Nafs, Puma, Cullis, and Keo. And you got Gamma 2, which is a dedicated vehicle crew with Alexander, Rufy, and Angel. What that shows me is they're going to either crew the MTLB or the BTR, and then take the other vehicle and either give it to Command to utilize, or they're just going to tie it to a squad and let the squad drive it in themselves, which will be interesting to see what they choose. Also, a note with Delta being taken by these guys, Scandi usually takes all machine gunner roles with Delta, so we got Whiplash and Cats taking the Delta 1 machine gunner roles. Nafs and I think Cullis are going to take the PKPs and the machine gunner team for Delta 2 as well, because I don't see him with the PKP, but I see it right there. All right. 5 minutes remaining. Last time this AO was done, to my knowledge, Green 4 went around over here and basically attacked through this open area, and it was a little messy, but they eventually got their foot in the door. Now, if I was Blue 4, I would honestly put the LAV, my bad for flashing you there, back here and just field it in as needed, because they have a... God, I did fat-fingered it again. They have a kilometer of render distance. So from up there, with about... Oh, this is actually like halfway in that area. So they can see pretty much up to here from that hilltop. So anything that tries to come in on these objectives, they can pretty much hit from a nice overwatch position right here. And then from here, they can also overwatch that base really well. So... I don't know what to say. I hope they don't keep it in the town because it doesn't have a lot of good sight lines with it. They could also potentially send it to counterattack early on by covering the road. Just literally driving it down the MSR, then looping around the back, and then coming around the other side. And do a rear attack with it, which also wouldn't be a bad call. A little more risky, but with a small scale op like this, honestly, either doing it that way or putting it on a decent overwatch position, those are two really good plays you can do, because there's only, you have a 50-50 of where your attacker is going to come from. And if you don't get him the first time, you're going to get him when he comes back around. But, or you can just put it on overwatch and, you know, have it play as a static defense weapon and you'll be fine. So, really, it's a no-brainer. But who's commanding Blue 4? Kiri? Kiri should know that. Another thing, Pierce is no longer banned from commanding. He's actually been unbanned for quite a few weeks, so if we see him step up in command, that is why, and I, for one, welcome back our crazy wild card commander. Also, I missed some hydrates, so let me catch up. Let me actually read chat. That is indeed a lot of big words. No autocannon? Yeah, that's what I figured. But even then, the LAV has a scope in and an auto-ranging capability, so it can just be used as a very powerful Overwatch weapon. Or it can literally get behind or in front of the entire convoy and just shred things with the 50 cal. Later mission will have autocannons? Sweet. Someone just tried to connect with the Ron Task Force radio. That's the old TFAR before the dev disappeared and Deadman Miller took over the project and made quote-unquote beta. For 724 wee-woo points on this. Well, Patak, I hope you get it. Otherwise, you'll get your due according to your namesake with, what was it? Klingon curse words? But either way. It may not be a lot, broski, but it's what you got. What are you doing? Why? What? So they're creating a frontline firing position for it. That is not the dumbest thing you can do with it. The dumbest thing you can do with it would be like to put it in the town and just, you know, throw it where you need it. But you're doing your dissertation, nice. That's a very... Like, here's the logic behind this. This basically means they're going to lock down this road for any vehicles that come down it for them to take it out, which would be great on an ambush perspective. But when's the last time you saw F&F vehicles actually drive down the road into an AO on the initial assault for that keyhole to be useful? Because don't get me wrong, we do see vehicles use the roads, obviously. But to hit an AO, I think this just shows a lot of wishful thinking on Blue Force side. Because infantry are going to go first. They're going to probably try to hit this position with AT, which is probably going to cause that vehicle to rout. The safest place for it to be is literally over here overwatching. Because look at this. If I were to get literally at the tree level. Look at this. Look at that. And then if you feel you're threatened, you can just back up. Hell, you can even use the LAV to knock these trees down to give yourself more firing arcs. So it's like, if you're going to use it for defense, why not Overwatch with it, right? You know, especially since you got all these open areas around it. The only place you can't really Overwatch is from that riverbed. Which it's fine, because when they start going to other areas, you can snipe them because you have a freaking LAV. It looks like Green 4 is doing the exact same plan as last time, moving their forces in this way. You've got some forces breaking off into the riverbed down here. You got a scouting force coming on the left side. You've got Blue 4 really dividing their forces here. This is a great hill for Overwatch, mind you. To watch anything that comes on this side. Blue 4 have a paltry defense right here. The only thing I can think of is Blue 4 is trying to divide their forces around right here. So that once they detect where Green 4's main force is coming from, they can pull back and make a new defensive line somewhere. Because this... this divide of forces, if they actually try to keep it hammered down like that, is going to be really difficult. But here, chat with me. Let's do a head count of how many vehicles actually come down this road and how effective this LAV is at shooting stuff. I'm gonna bet 0 personally. Sparkle, I don't know, but good luck. Alright, so Green 4 have deployed a majority of their forces along the right to go for Sector 3 first. You've got a small team coming around on this side. That is the 4-man fire team of Alpha. I don't think Bravo spotted them coming in. Otherwise, we'd see a lot more heads turn that way. Yeah, they literally rode up the map edge, which is a very smart tactic. And now you got Swola putting explosive traps around here. That is the second misfire I've heard. That time it was with a UGL. I think they were trying to put it up in Hunt Tire in the air, and he had the wrong round inside. This is a really good explosive trap to place, though. Oh, he's put tripwire mines. Here's the thing, though. Do you really need to put tripwire mines down in a position where your LAV is overwatching the entirety of the area? You know what I mean? Seems a little misguided, but... Yeah, because to get to that position, the LAV is going to shred anything that gets up there. So... Yeah, and it does have a zoom-in capability, like I said. So it's just really weird decisions made by Blue 4's defense. Not entirely bad, not entirely to jeopardize their game, compared to OFCRA yesterday, where Blue 4 completely dropped the ball and took one of the easiest, most biased one-sided matches and threw it out the window. It's just... I can... Look, so on paper, let me put it this way. You put explosives or tripwire mines behind cover, so if the enemy moves up to get behind it immediately, then they can get annihilated by the mines. So, on an ambush, that is perfect. That is implying that the enemy is going to rush in. And I'm going to be honest with you, the only commander that does any sort of real rush plays in FNF is primarily Pierce, and once in a while, Curie. But Curie is not doing the rushing, he's doing the defending. Depso, I have never seen do a rush, and that might be wrong. He might have done a rush, and I just didn't cover it. He might have done a rush last week, and that might be prompting their actions right here today, but usually the commanders will switch up their actions week to week. Righto, Sparkle. Again, maybe Malin. Because otherwise, the position of this vehicle doesn't make any sense. It should be better off on Overwatch with someone up here to either spot with them, or like a small 2- or 4-man team with a marksman rifle to also be up here and spot with him, so they can divert this asset to snipe people. But I feel like the explosives, especially tripwires, would have been put much better in the LAV's blind spots to alert the LAV if it's going to be tunnel vision looking down this roadway, if there's action here or here. If I had mines, I would have mined this route coming in. Because on a tactical standpoint, looking at the map, this riverbed is the most obvious area of advance, if I were to make a bet. But it's also the safest, because you don't have anything with really good overwatch to cover this riverbed coming in. And then look at how deep the green is compared to everything around here. Deeper shades of green on a map indicate there's more foliage and more cover, and even more concealment, which means it's going to be harder to look in and defend it compared to these parts, which are more open with more shades of brown than green. Which means you can set up defense lines to easily cover this area, but you probably want mines and supplements to cover that. So they have spotted a Hunt Tire coming up over here, and they immediately shot that. This is Scandy's approach coming around. So they now know that something's right here, but if they had an LAV covering all the way back here...
I'm back after collage bunnies, hope I haven't missed much.
They can easily start plinking. They can literally reposition on this hill all the way up to right here. And, I mean, utilize some of these open areas, start sniping people with that 50 cal. And now this LAV is going to have no choice but to retreat or move positions to try to get a shot on these units. And it looks like they're opting to retreat for the moment, but they might stop. Otherwise, Connor, thanks for the 40-month resub. Welcome back from your college assignment. Hope you keep enjoying the operations. And I do hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. And yes, I do agree. I think this position is eventually going to get overran because it's going to be attacked from 3 different ways. But I think that's also part of the point because Blue 4 is separated in 3 different groups. Green 4 Alpha is literally meant to back cap up there. And there's AT. Sam is unconscious from that AT round. There's the follow-up shot. And the vehicle's toast. And now Green 4's chances of winning are a lot higher. That's probably going to cook off in a second, but I don't know why FNF continues to make decisions of putting vehicles on their own in positions where they can't do a lot of work without assistance. Great GL right there. Sam gets out only to be uncon, and he dies. And the really messy part is if this team tries to pull back, you can have Charlie come around and potentially cut them off. So a full encirclement of this position is going to do greatly. And I don't really... You could have put the LAV up here and overwatched that position. Like, there's so many better places that in the plane it could have been done rather than just putting it there and expecting an enemy rush. It makes no sense. Lolo also got out. He's still on fire. But now you see Blue 4 abandoning this position, as I predicted. That's meant to be a place you can pull back from, but they lost the LAV. Now you got machine guns trying to fire in wherever they might see units, but... I don't know. Blue 4 are going to be sacrificing that position too because all the infantry is on Overwatch, so they're just going to hold this hill. And I'm going to be honest, this base is actually not a bad place to defend. What Blue 4 need to do, though, is find a way to capitalize on this open ground. And if they can get Green 4 to come in from this AO up to this hill, these 2 Blue 4 elements can sandwich it in a kill zone. You're probably also going to see Delta get up on this hill, though, and put pressure on anything that stays down here, though. Green 4 really have a superior positioning at this point. But again, the difficulty is going to be, how does Green 4 get up on this position? I think the secret is going to lie in with the BTR-80 and the MTLB with the KPVT turret, suppressing Blue 4 to allow Green 4 the leeway to actually get up there. I think Blue 4 was handed a very powerful asset to really deny Green 4's advance. I think with the forces here, they would have eventually had to have pulled back because if this attack continued, Delta would have already been up on that hill, shooting at the LAV. But that's why infantry needed to be around that LAV to overwatch to see that Delta was coming up so they could then all mount that LAV and pull back because the LAV is also an APC. But they would have probably been able to get a few snipes on Delta, probably on Bravo as well as they advanced, or found one of the 2, if not both of the vehicle assets and been able to snipe them and deny Green 4 that Overwatch support, which would have made that final attack much more difficult and put Blue 4 in a much better position. But because Blue 4 have lost that really powerful asset early on, Green 4 stands at a much better chance now to get up that hill. But this is going to be the most attrition-heavy part of the move-up. What's also going to be critical now for Green 4, is how this 4-man team plays out on the rear. Are they going to try to just snipe from the back and pull attention away? Or are they going to actually try to walk in there and do something? I'm going to be honest, though. They should not make a move until Green 4 is ready to start moving up on this hill, until Blue 4 invests everything on trying to stop them. Because that 4-man team, if timed right, with some proper smoke pushes, can get in the back and wreak a lot of havoc. and allow Green 4 enough time to actually get up, close in CQC, and push in and take that final objective. Right off the bat, I'm seeing another mistake right here. Blue 4 is going to push into this position and try to cover it. Sector 3 now being captured. This is a really tough one. Now, there is this one Overwatch point they built right here, but there's this big piece of cover right here that Green 4 has to basically move up on it unmolested. There's just not a lot of cover here to work with. You got some open areas. You can utilize some of these buildings to fire from the windows, but Blue 4 now coming in here last second. It's going to be a costly thing, and now you got Blue 4 shooting at their own guys because there's miscommunication, which to me shows that they might not have been ordered to come here. This might have been a judgment call, or there's not a lot of communication down here. So now that they're being suppressed by their own guys, that's going to slow their push into the town to get in proper defensive positions, giving Green 4 more time to get up on here. And now you got more shots coming in. So the fact we have more shooters doing it now shows me that Blue 4 was not ordered to come down here. That or it's just complete disarray at this point.
Sector 2, that's friendly.
Okay, do you know what I'm looking at, man? How about you worry about your own
I don't mean to sound rude, but when the 2IC comes down and tells you to stop shooting at friendlies, you probably shouldn't take that tone with them, but whatever. Anyway. Round 2 is still round 1 right now. Round 2 will be later. Bard trying to get some flanking shots. We got some good Overwatch pickoffs over here. Gogu just got hit. Now the question is, oh, we have the BTR coming around on Gamma 2 right here. So Delta's going to be doing a lot of Overwatch. That's going to pull these groups' attention away. We see some GLs being fired in. Alpha's making their move. So that's going to freak this group out and allow Delta to get in proper firing positions and start engaging. I wouldn't have made that call just yet. I would have let Delta pull the attention. But this can still work out because this is going to turn everyone around. But those GLs are really raining down on this position quite well. Look at that multi-kill. That is 2 dead, 2 wounded. Oh. That is beautiful. Now you got some more GLs coming down. That was Vagrant putting those in. That was a great call. He's trying to put more GLs down. It's Pepega Pirates trying to shoot back. He just ran out because he fired a flare round at him. Steve gets flanked and shot. Here's the thing. This Green 4 group's going to get annihilated, but now Delta's going to start shooting into that position as they come out in the open to take care of their wounded. This 3-man group needs to pull back. And now that means that all of this Green 4 force here should be able to push and take this position without any Blue 4 Overwatch suppressing them. Which at least means the fight is even for Green 4. Now, are they going to be able to take that position? It's anyone's guess, because Blue 4, now that they're not being suppressed by their own dudes, because ironically, Green 4 saved them from that. Now it's an even fight, but Blue 4 have the positions of cover. We do see some smoke grenades being thrown, though. And now you got some suppression going astray. Where's that MTLB? Because I see the 250 Calvix over here. They're trying to provide fire support down in this position. They're plinking at units in the open over here. I think the MTLB, I'm just going to do a quick look. No, so they took a car over there. Yeah, I have no idea. You got Ivno that's come on the rear shooting at Dawidox and Hines there. The issue is Ivno has a marksman rifle. That's a 10-round 7.62 by 5.4. Not really good for CQC like that. But at least his death has alerted these guys that there's gunfire over there. But now you're going to have a smoke push. You got Tim leading. Tries to put some... Oh, a satchel throw! That's going to force them to pull back. Pogo might not know. He gets unconscious because he was at the window and the blast knocked him back. Now you're having it followed up with GLs here. This is pushing Blue 4 to only hold the other side of that little ridge. Ah, got you, Mal. But either way, they still have the MTLB. Tim getting a great shot on this Blue 4 guy who picked up a 249. Now he's taking the high ground. Tim dominating the fight right now. Second satchel going in. Doesn't go far enough. That's enough to make him potentially pull back. We'll see what that satchel's range is. It still gets one. This is why I love satchels. The blasting shock. Hold up. Great grenade throw. Caught in the ridge. Wait, no, it was further back. My bad, but it still knocked over Halinar's. And that's the power of explosives being used on offense. Green 4 dominating Sector 2, and it's actually halfway captured. 45 seconds left. Tim advancing even more now to clean this up. Some great work right here. I think he's trying to shoot at the people up on that ridge because he, excuse me, not the ridge, the tower.
There's a mod too.
He's calling that out. We're hearing more automatic fire. But it looks like Blue 4 starting to pull forces back up to that hill. Gogu comes around. He was down earlier. Gets an executing shot on this guy. Grenade thrown in right here. That wounds Halinar's there. You still have these two Blue 4 guys pulling back. Pirate and Wombat pushing that position because they heard that gunfire earlier. Sector 2 officially captured. Halinar's tries to pull back, and he is taken out. And I think they're putting double tapping rounds on him as well. Blam being assaulted, but Gogu is having none of this shit. He's on 5 kills. Shot in the back because
I cleared the bunker.
Drago there, or excuse me, Blam was not paying attention to footsteps. Now he's gonna notice there's physics on him, and there's the double tap. That's his 6th kill. Great job by Gogu there. Hines getting double tapped by Tim Kappa here. These are names I normally don't see perform this well, but my God, they're showing it today. Now you're having Scandy doing a push with assistance from the BTR-80. Suppressing this position as Scandy moves down. You've got Papega on a ridge. It's not Papega. It's some members of Papega in another community trying to stop Green 4's advance, but now Green 4 is going to be able to push up from a separate angle. What I am noticing, though, is numbers-wise, Blue 4 might have enough to still weather this, because a lot of Green 4's numbers were in Delta, and I think they lost a good chunk of their manpower in the previous 2 pushes. Blue 4 also lost a good chunk of manpower, but some of it has still been able to pull back and come along the final sector. So let's take a look at this BTR and see if it's gotten any kills. I doubt it. I stand corrected. 2 kills so far. That BTR is pretty impressive considering they don't have any magnifications on their optics. Ironically, they're shooting at the Matt team, which is now going to potentially try to get up and get a shot on them. They have someone with a Vector 21 rangefinder ready to give that range. And then you got these 2 Blue 4 guys back here, Dowdox and Hines, that might be able to get around and do some flanking on Green 4's rear, as now you're starting to see Green 4 trickle up right here. So you're going to have a pincer maneuver pushing up to this position as the BTR tries to suppress anything coming up. But this could change with the Maz trying to line up a shot. The shot is away, and it's over. Here's the thing, if Green 4 can move up there quick enough, they will be able to eliminate Echo, and that's going to allow the BTR full reign on suppressing. But they're already making this job very difficult. Olaf caught in the reload glitch where he's standing, but I think the BTR just ran out of ammo. At least for its box before it can get another reload, because they say a BTR runs out of ammo in FNF is incredibly rare because it comes with a massive amount. Green 4 is literally within 50 meters of them right now. They need to consider pulling back. Some of these guys have set up a defensive line right here in the meantime. This is buying time for these 2 Blue 4 guys to come up and make a move, though. I don't know. And then you got this rear team right here. It's going to have to pull back because it's watching the far right flank. Matt has completely pulled back. to this position. Now you got Green 4 doing this smoke charge, but they seem to be a little separated here. What's interesting, though, is if they get up to CQC, that's going to force Blue 4 to pop all their grenades and eliminate this group, but you got the second group coming up right here, a third group ready to push up. Then you got Pirate back here. He's going to end up stalling these two to prevent them from being effective. Double taps by Gogu. He's on 7 kills now. RPG fired over. Goes a little too high, unfortunately. Blue 4 seem to have a lot of guys outside of the sector right now, though, probably because of the GL strikes from earlier. So now we're watching Savan getting blown out by grenades and double tap by grenades, but as I said, the first group coming in is going to drain the grenades of all the defenders. Now you got Scandy starting to push on this position right here. They're also tiered out, though. And Command has driven right up on this position to begin their own assault, which is, at this point, of a single unit. Depso dismounting on the rear to help Scandy's push up. So Tymek now pushing in. But you got grenades getting thrown everywhere. Norris, though, really nasty spot right here. And he's able to whip Tymek out. Now you got Green 4 starting to encroach. The question is, can Blue 4 hold? All right, so now you're starting to see explosive traps going off to some effects. However, that was right on where Norris was, and that's also created the perfect breach. Wait, no, Norris was a little closer. My bad, I saw the wrong body. Smoke's gonna hide his position really well, though, but also obscure his vision. Grenade still going back and forth. Settler finds Flux, knocks him out. Ironically, Scandy not really doing much with Delta, but at the same time, that's pinning that group over there. Second half of Green 4 pushing in, but Blue 4 seems to have the edge in this defense. That was an explosive satchel, and that got a kill. Again, very powerful weapons popping satchels in these compounds. You have a charge that just landed at the window there. Norris turned around, firing on, what's his face? That blew up the entire bunker. Flux woke back up, he's pulling back. More Hunt IR rounds being fired. I don't know with these numbers. You got the BTR starting to also push down. It's gonna come down to the CQC. This could go either way at this point. We got one guy flanking around. The rest of the Overwatch elements are starting to push into the compound. That's allowing Delta some free shots here. And some takeouts of anyone trying to push in from the outskirts. I think Green 4 has the numbers. But can they get that full encirclement going? I think Blue 4 still has a decent chance. We still see heavy hitters like Flux and King still alive. And as we just saw, Tim, who was getting a great multi-kill, gets immediately cut down. But Flux runs out of ammo there. And Solomon's double taps. If Blue 4 go 2-1 on an average KD right now, they can still pull through. 4K, you can't say that, buddy. You can't say that. The Twitch gods get mad. Short toss on that grenade. No, it's a charge. Banks might be in trouble. Never mind. Again, that's why I say charges are so unreliable. A satchel would have blown those two buildings out. Attackers are now officially capturing the sector because they have so many people in here. This is going to cause Blue 4 to have to push out and make some pretty critical mistakes. Kane has a 249. He's going to be fighting a PKP. Gabian doesn't turn on him, but Gabian gets the headshot. Settler gets another headshot. Azariah comes around as well. I think this is GG. Look at all the smokes being popped by the BTR to prevent any counterattack coming in, but no! Blue 4 managed to kill enough Green 4 in a last-second pullback. But Green 4 still have the numbers to commit. Blue 4 have 2 guys that are still lingering on the outside. I think they're trying to charge in as quickly as they can, but they might be out of stamina at this point. Azariah going down to Major Khan. This is 5 versus 4, but Blue 4 have 2 reinforcements along, on the way. Whiplash isn't in the sector right now. If he was, the timer would start being counted down. But he's not. There it is. Major Khan gets taken out by Yanni. You got 2 more Green 4 out here. Shuffles gets Yanni. Banks and Capta. Someone else in Blue 4 just went down. Banks goes down after he gets Capta. I think it's over because now it's just Schnuffles. This went really, really close. Whiplash. This is probably going to go to time unless Schnuffles makes an aggressive action here. But he's got Keo and Nafs coming around on his rear. Could be spotted in a second. GL is being fired point blank, taking out some of these buildings. Hold up, you got Dowadox and Hines coming up. Nope, they're going to be stopped. And 30 seconds till that timer's taken. Hines caught in the open. He is knocked out. And I think that's GG. Op will be done in 15 seconds or now. We're waiting for the second double tap. There it is. Green 4 wins by elimination. But with 5 units remaining. Oh, man. Imagine if Blue 4 actually put that LAV on an Overwatch position and it did what it was supposed to do instead of losing immediately. All it needed was 5 kills on paper by this operation, and they would have won. They would have been able to hold. It's amazing what one asset can do. And the reason it's playing the winner thing twice is because the timer also finished counting down. So Green 4 double wins. No, that does not mean you win double points. All right, guys. What a great round 1. We'll be getting to round 2 soon. I'm going to go ahead and do my hydrates. That was a hydrate. And this is a hydrate. Baby. Delicious. Let's see what round 2 brings, shall we? If it'll load. I think they're on mission screen picking out the mission right now. Chernarus Winter. A destroy objective. Alright. Alright, I can get behind that. Let's go ahead and go into our mission commands here. So, map is Chernarus Winter. Mission is going to be round 2. Op 4 is attacking to destroy 2 Blue 4 objectives. Op 4 has an 8% numbers advantage. 2 BTR-80 alphas. 4 Gaz Nick PKTs. And an MI8, while Blue 4 has 2 LAV-25s. And both sides have Matt. Excellent. I'm gonna change up the music as well. I feel like Snow Worries. Let's do it. Awesome. And we have another round of hydrates. I think I see what the issue is. I'm not seeing the prediction or any of the pop-ups in my chat like I normally do. I'm having to rely on my activity feed window. Isn't that interesting? Otherwise, guys, what'd you think about that? With an assault like that, I knew Green 4 was going to take high casualties, but they played out everything as they should have. I can't really see a fault Green 4 made with that plan and the reactions to intel that they had. Prediction will be up when we get to the map screen. But overall, yeah, no, that went pretty well. Blue 4 just made the critical mistake with their LAV, and if they hadn't made that mistake and they actually committed it to one of the two ideas I had earlier of either push it down the MSR and have it just try to kill as much as it can, or put it on an Overwatch position, I feel like Blue 4 would have won that because they would have had the LAV to, you know, do that Overwatch. But I feel like once Blue 4 lost that LAV, their chances of winning went from pretty likely to possibly. Oh, well. Righto. But I hope you're all having a wonderful Friday. This weekend, in terms of stuff, we're going to have a community town hall in my Discord at noon. At around 3 o'clock Eastern Standard, we're going to be doing a Zeus up for Karma Cuts community. And then Sunday, I'll be doing the fourth and final SCP op. I was going to have an op Zeus with RT Columbia, but I've decided to push it back a week because we already have a chunk of people that won't be unavailable, and it's going to be a bigger mission than normal. But beyond that, then we're just going to carry through with 2 World War II ops, wrap up that branch, and then start working on Halo and the last ship starting next weekend. So a lot of fun stuff planned. All right, we're seeing the roster fill up. We'll see how everything goes. Let's see the commanders on both sides. It's going to be Charlotte versus Pierce. Pierce is commanding for us. Pierce commanding an attack. Charlotte, AK / commanding a defense. All right, we'll see how things go. We don't know what they've done with Robo Saddam yet for the POG campaign. I'm not going to know that answer till Monday. And then I will start building the... I have an idea of how either campaign is going to work, but I'm not going to start building the operation itself till Monday. So we'll see how all that goes. Looking at TeamSpeak here. We're at about 91 players, so that's not too bad. Though we have 93 on the server, so... Might also be because Malin is in another channel like me, so... We'll see how that goes. Praise the machine guy, yeah, right? Oh, it will certainly be something. Man, I'm kind of... I will admit, I think I'm a little drained right now because this week was pretty tough. The build up to Pay for Pain, excuse me, Pilled for Pain. For Pay for Pain, and then running it and that whole payoff, and then I had a bunch of other things I had to do last night as well. I feel so drained today, so I think I'm just going to take it a little on the easy side. We'll do some mission dev after FNF, probably after an hour or two. I'll take a break and, you know, we'll have a nice, fun evening. I do need to find a new DayZ server to chill on, though, so I'll probably be also committing time this weekend to do that. Let's see. I've also been getting into a mushroom growing hobby. I've got in my fruiting chamber, I'm trying to induce pinning on a bin of king oyster and blue oyster. I don't know if it's a cold blue or a warm blue oyster, but I've been maintaining a temperature of 75 degrees Fahrenheit to see if that'll help it, and the CO2 levels have been right. So I'm doing my best there. But I've got, over the past week, I've had some golden oyster that started off as these little, like, nubs, and I thought it was a mold infection, and I looked it up, and it's like, no, they look like that. And I'm like, okay, cool. They've literally exploded over the past 2 days. I've got this nice before and after photo, and they'll be ready by next week. And then I still have these fruiting king oyster that have just been really taking their time, and I just don't know why they've been so slow to fruit. So we'll see how all that goes. My birthday is the 6th. Which we will be doing the first operation of Pog's new campaign and OFCRA that day. And then I probably won't be doing any streaming on Saturday because I'm being kidnapped for, Bloodwing likes to plan things out for that day. Similar to how I kidnap her on Valentine's Day for her birthday. Which also doubles down as Valentine's Day, so I have to make sure everything is absolutely perfect. I also have another idea for a stream to do before OFCRA. I just need to prep for it. Let me see. Yep, there have been some extra hydrates. At this rate, though, I think the quote-unquote hydrate's going to be done by the end of the next round, so we'll see how that goes. I have an idea for a stream. I might dress up as a shrimp for it because haha funny, but I don't want to do another PvP match commentary as a shrimp because Bloodwing came down as a cow and it was... It was horny. And we do need to get back to Shrimp Nautica, I know. TBA. I have a lot of stuff I need to do, alright? I'm trying my best. There's not enough time in the day. Fan service times 2. Oh, man. There we go. We can play Phasmophobia and scare Mal. Yeah, we can have a day, maybe in the evening after Pog, if you guys want to stay up around 9 p.m. I'll put my sound bites on, I'll let people troll me for the last parts of my birthday. Why not? We'll make it a big streaming day, and I'll have some fun. We'll set up for like 4 or 5 streams. What are you doing, Step Shrimp? Look, I don't think anyone has anything against fornication with cosplay, but I don't think I'm gonna do anything with a shrimp outfit. And yes, Sparkle, Thursday. I don't have any plans to do anything with the shrimp outfit. Now, Bloodwing, plenty of plans with plenty of what she does, but me and the shrimp outfit, it's as shrimple as that, guys. It doesn't get my rocks off, if you know what I'm saying. I mean, yes, that would take bikini shrimp to a whole new meaning. So, I don't think we should go there. Now, of course, this is just my opinion, but yeah. All right, looking at the AO here, Blue 4 is defending 2 cache sites here. Op 4 is going to be assaulting from the water. We'll see how that goes. They do have amphibious vehicles, though, so it'll be an amphibious push. And it looks like they've also intentionally added these SSRs over here to allow for units to come around and also drive up with this open area right there, because that's where a power line's being run. So it's a very big uphill battle here. Op 4 have so many different ways to move into this AO, even from the rear. And the 2 objectives are so close together that spending 15 minutes on just pushing around wouldn't be a bad call. So Blue 4, this is tough. They would need to commit a force to come down to here to check on everything, and to come down here and check on everything. Or honestly, they could beat the punch by going down this route instead. Cover that and cover that. And then if Op 4 takes a more obvious approach, then they can come around and flank. So let's say Op 4 pushes in right here. The force on the right can pull in for defense, and the force on the left can go in and immediately flank them. But another issue is Op 4 does have a helicopter, which can carry a lot of forces around. Oh, that's adorable. We have little pontoon bridge landing craft. That's awesome. So each one has the Gaz Vodnik and BTR. Oh, no, 2 of them have the 80 Alphas, and then 2 of them just have some of the transport Vodniks. So these both have autocannons. And then you have the MI8 right there. Blue 4, meanwhile, you're going to see the 2 LAV-25s. And then the rest are just standard infantry. But that's all they have, so the LAVs have to be committed to moving forces. Ooh, excuse me, in that meantime. Let's go ahead and look at our mission here. So, mission made by Depso. Background. Hypothermia is defined as the body core temperature reaching 35 degrees Celsius, 95 degrees Fahrenheit, which is crazy when you consider that our average body temperature is like 98.6. So, that's only 4 degrees off. But anyway, symptoms depend on temperature. In mild hypothermia, there's a shivering and mental confusion. In moderate hypothermia, shivering stops and confusion increases. In severe hypothermia, there may be hallucinations and paradoxal undressing, in which a person removes their clothes, as well as an increased risk of the heart stopping. I don't know what that has to do with the mission, but cool. Why not? Anyway, notes, the fog clears up at an altitude of 33 meters, meaning that there is no fog of war near the objectives, if it's only there to look pretty and should not have any effect on the gameplay. Yeah, fair. Game mode here, Op 4 has to destroy these 2 caches or wipe the entirety of Blue 4. Blue 4 has to defend at least one of these caches till the 50 minutes of the round run out, or wipe the entirety of Op 4. Mission variables here, 1,750 meters of render distance, no magnified optics nor NVGs, and the default defender build point is 125. Mat for both sides is 2 AT rounds per player, so 2 with the gunner and then 2 per assistant. There's 2 total assistants in the team. We'll see that with the Echo team. Blue 4, uniforms are going to be your Marine Winter Camouflage kits. That is quite nice. Loadout's going to be fully automatic M27 IARs or M4A1s, M9 Berettas as the secondary, 249s for the light machine gunners, and Alpha Bravo Charlie. Delta machine gunners have the medium machine gunner, are going to get 240 Golfs. Light anti-tank for Alpha Bravo Charlie is going to be the M136, and crew and aviation get a choice of the MP7 submachine gun or an M4A1. Crew served weapons has nothing on it. Assets are going to be your 2 LAV-25s, and it looks like they only have AP rounds, and they only come with 70, but you only need 5 to 10 to smoke a BTR Otherwise, looking at Op4, they've got the winter Russian kits here for their guys. AK-74s modernized with either UUK for Eastern optics or Zentico railing for Western optics. You also have AKSs if they want to really be Chads. MP4 for 3 garages for their secondary. Light machine gunners and Alpha Bravo Charlie get the RPK. Delta medium machine gunners get the PKP. Light anti-tanks going to be the RPG-7. Crew and aviation get the choice of the PP-2000 or an AKS. For their assets, they get 2 BTR-80 Alphas with 90 AP rounds. Interesting. So a little more than the LAVs. But you got to remember the LAVs have... I don't remember if the BTR-80s can scope in. We'll have to check, but a little more ammo than the LAVs here, but they are on offense. An MI8 with 2 PKT turrets, which honestly is a flying whale. A single machine gunner can easily shoot the engine out on that thing. 4 Gaz Vodniks with PKT turrets, which kind of suck because you can't move your body around while you're on the turret. The only thing that moves is the turret when you look left and right. And then it's 4 unarmed Vodniks. The reason these Vodniks and BTRs have been chosen is because they are amphibious. As you can see, can float, yes. Can float, yes. Can float, yes. Helicopter cannot float, though. But that's why it flies. Anyway, let's go ahead and look at our roster here. So, Slushy's going to be, Charlotte's going to be commanding. Arcane's going to be the 2IC. Blam, the 3IC. Mackenzie's going to be the medic. Patriot leading Alpha with Kiri as the marksman. No one leading Alpha 1 is going to be Major Con, Arkorsh, Banks, and Swola. Alpha 2 being led by Ash, Tackleberry, Wheaton, Tim Kappa, and Eric. Charlie being led by Big Phil with Pro Hunter, Gogu, and Solomons. Marksman Rifle for Blue 4 is going to be the Mark 11. Op 4's Marksman Rifle because they're Russians is going to be the SVD. Otherwise, Charlie is going to have RB commanding as Machine Gunner with Thompson, Martin, Crazy, Phila, and Gamer. Azarag going to be commanding Delta with Flying Finn taking the medic role. Naps and Nemesis taking the machine gunner roles with Puma as an assistant. Cull is taking the machine gunner role with Whiplash, with Kaio and Gabian as an assistant. Yanni Fen leading Echo with, the god himself, Iander, taking Map. And Nimi and Katz being the assistants, which means he's going to have 6 AT rockets to work with. Excellent. Gamma 1 for 1 LAV-25 crew is once again going to be Sam and Lolo. Second crew is going to be G-Legs and Olaf. Pierce commanding Op 4, making his plan down here. He's going to have Steve as his Alpha squad lead with Rufy as the marksman and Vagrant as the 2IC. Polish Pepe leading Bravo. There's no Alpha 1 and Alpha 2, even though we have an Alpha 1 machine gunner. Okay, so he'll join up with that little fire team being made. But Polish Pepe leading Bravo, he's already grouped everyone together. He's got Rambo, Quebec, Dawadox, Skipu, Sleepy, Heinz, Helenars, and Jeremiah. And some of them are swimming around, which is kind of funny. We got NASA leading Charlie with Pirate Sandwich being the 2IC, Depso being the marksman, and Misfit being the medic. Bluck leading Charlie 1 with Tymek Bard, Zixme, Wombat, and Ivno. Pogo underscore leading Charlie 2 with Kermit, Escoblin, Lolo, Mazzano, and Autovisky. Newton leading Delta with Ant as the 2IC and Renly as the medic. Savan, Capata, Lurch, and Alexander, all PKP gunners. They've all merged under Delta with no assistance. They're just going to go balls to the wall. Kane being the team lead for Echo, with Flux taking the medium anti-tank weapon and Michael and Armagesus being his assistants. Papega and Scandy on both mat roles. This should be interesting. Chult and Norse taking the first BTR-80 Alpha crew, and the second BTR-80 Alpha crew being a 3-man crew of Schnuffles, Artisan, and Zoni. And then Hotel is going to be the helicopter featuring Nicholas and Puma. The fact they're taking a second guy means they do intend on using the PKT turrets. Now, the fact they're all down here means they are making a plan. I am in the TFAR channel, but I think because this is over the sea level, my plugin does not let me hear them. I have noticed that as a bug in the past, and there's not really much I can do about that with how TFAR and the spectator menu works, because in order for me to hear them locally, but not hear people when they die, we already had to do a bunch of black magic to make that work. Anyway, but regardless, let's go ahead and look at our AO. So AO number 1 is going to be this battle tower objective right here. Looks like they flattened this area out with Deformer to be able to make this position right here. And then the second one is this military base as well that really capitalizes on these open areas all around the base, actually. So this is a better AO to hold, in my opinion, because you can lock down those open areas here. And then this one is a lot tougher because they got forested areas all on top of this position where forces can easily come in. A lot of nice open areas for these LAVs to move into to basically overwatch, but they are still a bit limited. So the defense with the LAVs is a bit tough. I'm going to be honest, I would recommend they just go balls to the wall and try to hunt down Op 4 as they come in. With 2 LAVs, have one go this way and down, have another one go this way and down, and you should be able to catch Op 4 out of position. Because the first one can then ride up through here and Kamishovo and follow the road, and the other one can just loop around right here, Overwatch. And if they don't see anything, just continue up and try to find Op 4 and eliminate their butts. Because there's not really any good defensive positions to put them in this AO. Compared to the last AO, where it could overwatch the entire defensive objective, and you could arguably get away with something like that up here, but an AP with only 70 rounds of AP and then a 240 Bravo, which is 7.62, doesn't really give him a lot of ammo to work with for outright kill. Well, we don't have to worry about that one anymore, do we? I'm going to go ahead and hydrate. Lovely. Hey, look, they unflipped it. Anyway, I would just counterattack with them right off the bat. Werewolf Boy, thanks for the 17-month resub at tier 3, no less. Thank you so much for all your support. I hope you keep enjoying the operations, and I do hope you can get a nice kick out of this scenario. Good old Steve. Yes, I do put some emphasis in his voice because it's Steve. Where is Falcon? Not here. He's still banned for a while. It's that's a long story. So, how's everyone in chat doing? I assume the prediction's up because it's not popping up for me on OBS, so I think my OBS is a little bugged today. That is A-okay, but we'll see where Green 4 decides to put their plan. Looks like the pilots are just going to be doing recon. Maybe, I know Pierce likes to do false LZs, where he'll have the helicopter make a landing somewhere outside of Blue 4's view, but make him feel like there's a force deploying behind them. That is one of the things I love about Pierce and his tactics, so we'll see what the Blue 4 guys do for it. Otherwise, they're mounting up in their vehicles. They're going to deploy everything here. And we'll see what crazy Pierce play Pierce has in store for us today. Woo! Today's hydration liquid is 5 parts Proper 12 whiskey apple, 9 parts my homebrew cider, which is over fermented, 2 parts Sprite finished at the end, 1 part maple syrup, and 1/2 part lime juice because I ran out of lemon. And it's very smooth. It's scary how smooth it is. But it's certain... Oh, and, like, either 2 or 3 parts egg white because... It would be 2 parts egg white because that's the standard for, an egg white because I made Bloodwing chocolate molten lava cake as I promised her, and I always have a spare egg white after that. I make that recipe because it uses 1 egg and 1 egg yolk, so I keep the egg white, and I make usually a whiskey old-fashioned, but I'm like, nah, screw it, I'll put it in my cider drink. And it's delicious. Well, what the egg white adds is just a foam. It doesn't really affect the flavor in any way. I see, Sparkle. Well, feel free to snuggle your cat. So you already got the gas in the water. There's nothing stopping them from going up a few feet and driving, but if they wanted to, at least for the gases, they could get a driving start. I also love how they have all the flagpoles here, which is to indicate that they have a teleport system to get people up on those positions. Can I save some for later in the year? I can just make myself some more. The amount of alcoholic cider and mead I have in my basement is... It's a lot. I got really into homebrew. I made a lot of stuff. Now it's just in storage waiting to be aged. I mean, the mead still needs like another 8 months? 7 months? One of them needs 7 months. One of them needs 8 or 9 months. And then the cider, I'm just letting that age. Because I've had the green ciders, which means it's, you know, only been sitting for 3 months after its fermentation cycle. And they're good. In another month, I need to try it after like another 3 months of aging to see if it's any better. That stuff usually lets sit for a while anyway, so. Snake nuts. The heck is a snake nut? Is that code for some scaly stuff? I don't want to know, man. Why is Steve in the water? 'Cause he's having a swim! In the frigid, cold winter waters of the Black Sea. What flavor is the mead? I didn't flavor it at all. I just let it be as is. Because that's just how I like to do it. But once I, you know, taste it in another 6 or 7 months, I might make a flavored batch with a profile I might like. I don't know, I just have a thing for honey wine. I love that the driver gets fully submerged. Hold on. I want to watch that from their POV. Yeah, right? They get fully submerged and they float up. I love mead. It's just really hard to find a good one in the States. Alright, so at least a good 15 minutes of this is going to be, I didn't add any purpose in now. I have a notebook with everything, but again, this was just me experimenting with it. I'm only in my mid-20s. I mean, I got plenty of time to play around with it, despite it taking so long. Baron Jaeger? I have not heard of it, but I will make a note to look into it. Ah, Yaba, you lucky. Lucky schmuck. See, there's always the rare chance where someone will get the perfect angle and put in the vehicle at a 90-degree angle and actually manage to flip or sink it. But alright, here we go. Cornish mead, interesting. Otherwise, round has begun, so we'll go ahead and cover it. MI already deployed and appears to be scouting the landing site. These vehicles are going to take a hot second. If anything, they should be focusing on trying to get on this ground so they can then drive up. And then swim over here, drive on this land, and then just swim the last little bit of the way. Looks like that's what they're going for. Perfect already targets, yeah, right? You're invested in Steve? Alright. Well, if I find him, I'll let you know. He's in the vehicle all the way in the back. Which might have meant they flipped, but it's okay, he's back. This is a pretty cool angle, though. Not gonna lie. Got the 80 Alpha in the background. Going amphibious with open hatches, yeah, right? Looks like we're gonna be doing a left. Blue 4 is not sending any of their LAVs down. They're instead keeping them on overwatch positions. Let's look at their angles real quick. So one's going to be overwatching the northwest, mainly focused on west. And the other one is going to be focusing on the east over the AO. Which, yeah, in my opinion, those would have been the best things to do for a defensive standpoint, but I think it would have been better to just send them out to counterattack early on. Because I think 2 LAVs could easily sandwich a vehicle convoy coming in, but that's just my opinion. So Op 4 is reforming their convoy here. MI8, is it going to go for a false landing? No, they're just purely on Overwatch. See, really risky with the MI8s because the LAVs have AP rounds, and a single AP round will usually disable the engine of that thing. 69.6k versus 69.6k. All right, an even poll. 1-to-1 odds. Let's see how it goes. So I'd imagine that's already done a reconnaissance of scouting the route out. With it circling again, it might do another reconnaissance mission. Just under the guise of circling the AO. But if you were to look, you don't really see the pilots paying attention, and I mean, there's not much they can see from up here. So I think they're just up here to literally harass. How many people are playing? We're at about 90 right now, which is a little on the lower end for PvP events I cover, but it does, again, allow for the individual to shine a lot more, which allows me to emphasize why communities like Scandi Recon and Papega perform very, very well.
Isn't Alpha supposed to be in the compound?
Regular hydrate.
Oh, yeah, we're supposed to be over there.
So I think people are trying to figure out where they're supposed to be, which is pretty funny. LAV right here is pulled back a bit. And you see the MI8 starting to lose itself in the clouds. See, we've got 2 guys back here. So I'm curious what they'll be doing, because it looks like Green 4 took all of the vehicles. And you got the convoy still coming up here, and it looks like they're going to take this route up, which also happens to have 2 people overwatching right here. Steve is still in the back of the convoy. Figuring out where you're supposed to be is 90% of life in general. Yeah, I don't disagree with that statement at all. So you got this big convoy coming up. Really nice ambush capability for Blue 4 to hit, but Blue 4 has so many different routes to cover. And I'd also imagine if I was in Op 4's shoes, I would dismount right here, next to Rog Castle, and then I would commit my infantry to go up here, and my other, I'd split into 2 parts. One half going up right here, the other half going around right here, getting to the town of Mista. And then once that sector's secure, because this is the harder sector to defend, I wouldn't expect a hard defense on it. Again, Blue 4 would be insane to try that because it's all forced fighting. I would then loop them around up north, and then I would hit that with both of my remaining forces, utilizing this group as an overwatch, and this group to then move in, since especially they would probably be depleted, because Blue 4 would still probably have a small defensive unit there, probably be utilizing that hill for its own overwatch defense. And then I would just keep the 2 BTR-80 Alphas moving in the open right here to lock down the open areas, and then from right here they can help flank on Mista, or they can be sent to commit with covering that sector as well. It's just very risky to put them in CQC, but that's how I would pretty much do this AO. Which, I will admit, does break my own rule of sending 2 separate forces to do 2 separate things, but at this point, there's not a lot of cover and not a lot of room to really keep the entire force together without putting them in unnecessarily open areas like here. So I would take that risk. Have I commanded an FNF? No. Have I seen how hectic FNF is on communications and comms? Yes. So when I give them literally a simple plan of follow this line and do that, follow this line and do that, once you get to that point, check in with the other team to see where they are. You have to give them very, very simple instruction. But no, my experience from all this comes from the fact that I've literally been making missions for people since 2016. At this rate, I have a mission almost every day for people, and I see their tactics, and I see what works and what doesn't, and I've been commentating for this group for years. I've seen what happens in OFCRA and plenty of other PvP communities. I feel like I know enough. But people like Pierce always keep me on my toes with their crazy, crazy plans. Mirkus, the answer to your question falls in the sentence you gave. Me and my boats. If it's your boat, you can call yourself whatever the heck you want on it. Because, you know, your boat, your home, your castle, you name it, it's yours. You can do what you want. Now, I was basing everything off of the map, not really reading the contour line. So seeing this terrain, seeing a little danger zone right here, seeing the terrain around here, whip around, going from low to high ground, it would be a tough fight. But that's a bet on Blue for actually utilizing the terrain to their advantage, which may or may not be the case. So now I gotta wonder if Blue Force saw that movement. Not sure if they did. Alright, Don. Other Mod Addict will do it, but I'll let chat yell at me if a bet isn't down for round 3, and I will take care of it. But thank you for letting me know. Hope IRL is okay.
I don't think there are people south.
Oh yeah, they definitely didn't spot them because they just said they don't think there's anyone south. Now, mistake number 1 right now that Op4 is doing is putting their helicopter right over their advance. Never ever, if you're trying to put your forces up and you don't think you're detected, put your helicopter over your route, because that is an easy telltale sign to the defenders where you're coming in from. Thankfully, it is just far enough away not to be heard, but having that helicopter right there is a very, very silly call. Hey, Kix, thanks for the raid. It is round 2. Yeah, so now you're having machine gun fire. What are they doing? Why is Command unconscious? What did you do? Did they just try to drop Pierce off from the helicopter? Okay, cool. I'm not going to question it. So Blue 4 knows that there's something over here because the helicopter just landed and I think dropped ground command off. That was weird. Round 1 was very close. Round 2 might also be close, but we already have Echo now turning around because now Blue 4 is repositioning for a southern attack. Because to them, it looks like the helicopter might have just landed and dropped a squad off. When in reality, it's the entire force, but it's like, what? What on earth? I need a hydrate, damn it. I don't see one on the board. But as I predicted, we'd have a dismount about right here. A little closer than I would have liked, but that's still a-okay. And we see a majority of the force is going to go over here, and they're going to keep all their units together, which also isn't a bad call. You just have to maintain a nice battle line. There we go. Thank you, guys. For helping to make my life tolerable.
Currently Goat 1 is on the Goat 1 mark.
LAV is now overwatching that position as well, but based off the terrain they're cut off, if they pushed up right here, they'd be able to get some really great shots on the elements over here, but it's because that hill's in the way. It's just stopping them from seeing this position.
Oh, there are EI up there, too. They're running around.
Probably also know what's going on.
So these Overwatch BTRs, they've got some infantry with them. They're trying to cover on what's going on. MI8 just took fire. We'll see what we have here. Is Steve okay? Yes. Steve is fine. He's being kept in reserve. So we have one BTR pushing up. Second one's being left back here. This one's probably going to help cover the infantry pushing up. We have a paltry force on the right side as a bulk of Op 4 is going to be moving in from the left. All right. Bretchet, I don't think I can even read that one out loud, but I agree with you. And the other... Is the other 80 still up here? Yeah, okay. Gunner just spotted the LAV moving. Yeah, they don't have a zoom in, they only have night vision optics.
Why keep screaming random shit, dude? It's your optics.
Yep. Eddie Alpha just started shooting at him.
I'm sure they're winning. Yeah.
Paper Paint went well yesterday. We got everything sorted. The only thing that was a little buggy was the Hello Kitty car and the Type 7, but we still made it work. There was definitely some pain. There was a lot of pain distributed.
Golf 1 was engaging enemy.
Can we be on the west side of this fucking...
Second LAV is up here. Interestingly enough, if it looked... Why are you looking back towards friendlies? Look forward. Oh my gosh. Matt just got knocked out for Blue 4. This group got completely ambushed. Now you're seeing it suppressed. Another RPG goes up. Popping smoke rounds. Not sure if it's disabled. So yeah, the driver's knocked unconscious. The gunner's still up. More AT being fired. That's a hit. Probably by their Mac gunner back there with the RPG-32. And that vehicle's going to be cooking. So Blue 4 down in LAV right here. Some flare rounds being fired up here to distract. So Blue 4 losing LAV, losing their Matt team early on. That is not a good sign. And it really just comes down to positioning right there. I don't think Blue 4, they knew something was down to the south because of that helicopter. They didn't realize it was the entire Op 4 force, but they didn't bother sending anything out to do recon. So it was just a guess at that point. Oh my gosh, and now you're having this vehicle running up and running people down with the PKTs. Moving in a vulnerable spot right now, though. Top 4 now pushing up and taking units out. Explosive just went off up here, some sort of explosive charge. Op 4 opting to keep their forces together right here. You might see a small force moving up those areas right there, but now we need to see this force break off and go left. Blue 4's made a pretty nice defensive line right here to capitalize on the openness in those trees. But Op 4 from this area right here doesn't really have a lot of maneuvering room. However, pushing up here does allow for Op 4 to utilize their autocannons to hit infantry and the remaining vehicle on that side. Knight, agreeing with what Ricky said, there is a mod team already out there for 40k stuff. I know them. They work on a mod called TIOW, however, there's another few mods out there. So you could probably talk to them. But, gotta focus back on this. That turret's disabled. Gunner is dead. Driver is knocked unconscious. Schnuffles is just sitting in the back. A little bit of a bad call right there, sending the vehicle out in front of the infantry for it to get hit pretty hard there. Now you got this gas that's pushed up as well. But I think the BTR's target, the LAV's target fixate on what's up here. So Op 4 now transitioning from this hill to move down to that Blue 4 objective with the first cache site. But yeah, from here to then go around and hit most of Blue 4's infantry and probably force them to pull back to that final area. This is certainly a nasty spot. You got that other BTR coming up. Both sides are down to one autocannon vehicle at this point. They might be able to repair that BTR-80. It's not in a bad spot if they can get the turret working to still snipe at things, but that's the difficulty. Meanwhile, the LAV's pulled back. Could push back forward, though, and might get more vehicle kills here, especially with the gas out here in the open. Though it does have a little bit of defilade cover to that low ground. And you got the MI8 trying to do some long-range PKT harassment in certain areas to make people put their head down. Meanwhile, Blue 4 have tried to do a bit of a counterattack right here. Not really going out too well, though. And grenades pretty much getting them here. And double tapped. So you got some pretty nasty grenade exchanges back and forth right here. Some knockouts from them. That's what's always risky about attacking from downhill, is the people on that top of that hill can throw grenades down and they can reach pretty far. But if they throw them too late, then the grenades are going to roll well past. Looks like Blue 4 tripped their own tripwire flare right here. And the tent with the cache in it's actually been exposed by grenades. RPG came up, actually knocked out an Overwatch marksman with Gogu. Wow, Timek on 3 kills, tries to get that. Someone pushes position, gets killed. Gamer then kills that guy. And then Timek pushes him, gets his 4th kill. Look at the amount of Op 4 numbers we still have pushing on that position. Blue 4 still have a handful on the rear of the compound, but yeah, Op 4 is going to easily dominate that. Looking at the other side of the fight, this vehicle's been shot out, possibly by the LAV there. The gun is still up. Schnuffles trying to line it up. Pans past the LAV on accident. Secret, or Sarek, my bad, thanks for 20 month resub. Hope you keep enjoying the operations. Hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. Schnuffles, I think, is now in the back of the Vic so he doesn't get shot out. Where is he? He's just cycling between seats. No, he gets in the driver's seat and he's trying to drive back at this point. That LAV might be out of ammo at this point because it's only at 70 AP rounds. And before What's-Her-Face asks, Steve is totally okay. He's still on the back line, not really doing anything. Otherwise, Op4 fully taking this compound. They just have to find and eliminate the cache. Blue 4 starting to pull out of it. Op4, I'd imagine, are just going to either stay in the low ground to move up or start moving in the high ground, move around, and eventually get to that base. But I see this as an Op4 victory. Op4 just seem to be much more organized at this point. I see them just putting a satchel on this and moving on. So where's that other BTR-80 Alpha? Did the LAV also get it? Because looking down here... Yeah, no, they came down over here, and I think the LAV-25 managed to snipe it. So he's trying to get on the gun, but he immediately gets out after realizing the gun's disabled. So this LAV is going to pretty much stop him, but I think the LAV is out of AP ammo between smoking that gas, smoking that BTR-80, and then smoking this BTR-80 that got repaired, and then putting more rounds in it. You just saw Steve get knocked unconscious here. Oh dear. Sparkle is not going to like that. Gabian trying to act as a one-man wonder here. What the command doing? And as soon as he gets up, he takes SVD fire and is torn apart by Depso. Which is ironic because normally SVDs don't do anything in these ops. And he's double tapped. How do we destroy the cache? Just mag dump it. If it works. So we're gonna have some Op4 trickling around over here. That's Arma Jesus, who is now dead. He died for our Arma sins. That was Flying Finn, who's on his second kill. He's gonna topple a grenade over. And now he's running into this trench. I just heard some sort of autocannon fire. Looks like they brought this 80 Alpha back up. And now it's pushing to stay in the low ground away from that 80 Alpha's arc of fire. So now the 80 Alpha's gonna push. And now they have no choice but to go into low ground to avoid the ire of that 80 Alpha that's been repaired and still has some of its ammo. He's on 7 kills, by the way. And now you're gonna drive up CQC to an Op4 objective. What are they doing? So I think the LAV's gun is disabled. They're just driving down the MSR to find a place to repair it and then come back. But yeah, Op4 was like, oh, that's... what the LAV doing? Great maneuver call by Blue 4 there. Really risky driving through the area that just lost its cache. But their two choices were either drive down this area and risk Op4 being in that area, or drive up there and hope that Op4 wouldn't hit you because they were fresh off the cache. Maybe they were too busy maneuvering past that area at that point. They took the less risky of the two options, in my opinion, not knowing where Op4 was back here, so yeah, paid out for them. Yeah, it happens a lot, Sparkle. What the LAV doing? So now you're hearing the gunfire starting to die down a little bit. Blue 4 is going to start rallying over their final objective. '80 Alpha's using the rest of its ammo to try to shred these remaining positions.
head.
So they're doing a little bit of medical here. Op4's momentum has kind of faltered, but that could get worse now. Because the LAV's back, and its gun is repaired. Oh boy. Steve is back up, by the way.
Tak. Ale my jesteśmy Polakami tu wszyscy. Jak mi idę, kurwa, tu słyszę?
Does Op4 not have any lat? Oh, they do. Do, do, do. Do, 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 do. Oh! That disables the engine. That was close. Here's the scary part, though. That gun's still up. They're charging the LAV! What are you gonna do? You can bypass it, but they're gonna repair it and come back at you again. You need another thing of AT to finish it. You got Matt right here. He can do it. How have you died twice, but not received any kills, sir? Hey, look, the infantry are still being silly. That's kill number 8, and that was a wound, so he's gotten 9 now.
They might, oh, they're popping more smoke again. I'll try killing them, though.
Gunner is going to cover. This has stopped the entire Op4 assault, by the way, but now you got BTR-80 Alpha coming around.
Fury this shit. There's like infantry all around us.
They're gonna fury this shit. So this shows the lack of communication that Op4 has with their vehicle assets right now, because I think that 80 Alpha still has the ammo. But yeah, G-Leg's up to 9 kills. Oh, and the gunner's knocked out. 10 kills to G-Legs and it's over, as finally the 80 Alpha comes up and knocks the Vic out. I love how he has a little bit of light on him because of that fire.
I don't have myself out.
Well, that happened. Sir, you are on fire. Yes. Yes, he is. All right, now Op4 is continuing their advance only with a handful of troops. But with all those kills by the LAV, Op4 might not have the infantry manpower to actually take this objective. I think Blue 4 has the number advantage on this point. Op4 could still rally and take out some of the outskirt forces. They also still have their BTR-80 Alpha to do overwatch and snipe forces in the final objective. You also have Skipu up here, who's stolen a 240 Golf here. And Olaf missed an opportunity to hit him for that. Oh yeah, the screaming script that they have when they're on fire is a little terrifying. Flying Fin on 3 kills as a medic, hiding in a tree. He's waiting for him. What? Oh, they're shooting at the helicopter. Like, why are some of you flashing? But yeah, his rounds aren't even landing close. And Steve is still alive. Thank you for asking, Sparkle. Vic's destroyed, perfectly flamed out. And they're all bypassing Flying Fin. He could get up, but the dude was literally on fire, so I doubt he is going to wake back up. And he died. So Timek, who's on 4 kills, leading this. You've got some elements of Scandi pulling back here. They're trying to find where Op4's moved to.
I need you to tell me if you're successful in getting the Vodnik before you start driving, because I've got about 3 people all over me that back hill.
That group's mounted up. (5-7) versus a Vodnik. Player count, I would not be able to tell you exacts right now. That's a Malin question. 23 red versus 21 blue. Anyone's game. BTR got dismounted. No, it pulled back. Okay, it's with these guys. So it can be on a position of Overwatch.
You're gonna have the crew for the BTRs. I guess you've got the 2 Delta dudes with you, right?
Pierce is about to get whiplashed. There goes Op4 command. Ooh, Curie just headshotted a guy.
Oh my god, I ran right into them.
Yes, yes you did. Now you appear to be in a little bit of trouble. That grenade goes long. Ooh. Oh no. He saw that grenade and immediately turned around. Oh, and there goes Curie. Yes, they are dead. Finn's gonna come around on the rear here. You got Cats over here, could put pressure, because both 80 alphas are still up. Grenade knocks out Sheepy. Rest in peace, Depso. Whiplash coming around, starting to get some pickoffs, but he goes under LMG fire. I love when they hold the trigger down and spin and it just makes this like crazy cone of fire. Oh, that grenade. Oh, that grenade. Jesus. Right on his ass. Here comes Flying Fin. And there goes Flying Fin. Anyway. Got Schnuffles coming up. Well, we do have our core with an AT4. Swing and hits. Now you got the autocannon unloading into this tower. Might see this flame out in a second. Or he's going to start repairing. Well, can't anymore. Heard a scream out of that, too. We got Tim coming around. 3 forces over here. Did he just get that kill? Yes, he did. Great shot. Tim's been one to watch. Pass run he did pretty well. I want to see if he can follow through. And then you've got Olaf over here. He's taking an AK, so he'll be able to confuse weapon ID. However, Op4 is pulling some rear security. Occasionally you see them turning around. So, you know, you got to appreciate that. I think Blue 4 has the number advantage at this point, but that could turn around because Op4 still have auto cannon Overwatch. And they are getting snipes on units in these positions. So let's see if Blue 4 can continue to knock out the remainder of Op4's manpower. Rear security actually pulls through. Olaf goes under fire. I said repair, my bad. I get tongue-tied. Smoke grenade, or that might have been a frag going out in case anyone's trying to push him. You got Roofy down here and in front of him. He's on a marksman spot, so he's trying to pick off people that he sees. And you got Patriot back here trying to stay high to do Overwatch. And you still have this helicopter flying around. A lot of Op4's manpower is tied into assets right now. And that's where you're still seeing this breach of manpower right here. That grenade knocked him. And I think you just saw him. Honestly, the right call would be to run around, because now you got that grenade. Patriot played him like a fiddle there, my god. So you got your first 3 assaulting in. Now you got Catch trying to throw grenades onto this BTR. Unfortunately, none of the shrapnel goes under. Still got that MI8 circling and trying to get kills here. More grenades coming out and around. Is it close enough? That's a charge! Oh, it was a charge! Ouch. How is Steve? He just got blown up. Great timing. And that one Blue 4 guy on the rear managed to clean up the rest. That was Tim. And now Op4's really running out of manpower here for this one. Yeah, Greg, the LAV definitely dominated. Wait! He's back. Patriot under fire, staying under cover right now. Olaf still on the northern side. He's taking a Mark 11 now. You got the BTR now harassing. Wow, gets the knockout on Cats. Steve might be in a little bit of trouble. We got some Blue 4 marauding around. Done.
Okay, cool.
Oh, Steve's medicing.
Copy.
But I don't think the Blue 4 guy spotted him. Explosives just went off up here. On the opposite side of Misano, though, but you see the trees knocked out.
Outside my perimeter. Like footsteps outside my perimeter.
So he's calling the footsteps out. Oh! What a shot! That was Major Con with a 249 with a red dot. Unfortunately, here comes Schnuffles. And Schnuffles does not like the fact that Steve just got shot. And that's a headshot. Blue 4 has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 players up. Op4 has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But again, half of Op4's manpower is tied up in assets. 8 minutes remaining. Blue 4 could very well win this to time. Grenade double tap Steve. Steve is dead. Got some fire going back and forth right here. Mackenzie gets knocked out. Uh-oh. What? Oh, that was so close. Cats almost got played. Hey, Black Eye, what's up? Off, we're down to 2 guys on the north. They had 5 earlier. Patriot and Olaf, I think, are coming around and cleaning house. Olaf has 2 kills. He had none when he dismounted, so he has definitely been shooting some guys in the rear here. I think Blue 4 are going to be able to hold that, and that's mainly because that one LAV was able to just get so many kills. Op 4 charging the LAV, too. That was really silly. We do have the BTR coming around. But how much damage is it really going to be able to do? Blue 4 is just going to pull in a bit closer on the defensive areas. And the BTR can't just pull up and snipe the cache because it doesn't know where the cache is. Six minutes. These 2 guys getting caught up. That MI8's eventually going to have to come over and land. BTR coming in the open. Is the MI8 coming in for a landing? Oh, it spotted someone. LAV took a hit, engine still up though. Wow. BTR just sniped someone with those AP rounds. Still got that 2v2 firefight up there. Five minutes remaining. Grenade going off in front of the 80 Alpha. You got Masano that could come in. 2v2 still going strong, but that's just burning time. The only thing the BTR-80 can do at this point is to dismount and try to move in on foot, and at that point I think they're dead. Explosive charge thrown out, but it rolls down the hill. Right idea, but wrong execution. That MI8's gonna get torn apart by a 249 in a second. Blue 4-2 distracted by the 80 Alpha. Not being good positions to deal with this. You can hear the warning klaxons going off. '80 Alpha now blindly shooting into the compound. Another explosive charge thrown. Will it be close enough? Very risky throwing charges so close to this one building. You just don't kill yourself with your own satchel, please. Oh my freaking God, Misano. Are you actually kidding? That would have been the perfect tool to put on that building to blow both it up and the... I love these players so much. MI8 doing a far dismount, it immediately comes under fire. They only have submachine guns. I think this is over. Up for it, one chance with that and he blew himself up. think they actually killed someone with one of those PP-2000s. 2 minutes. These guys need to dismount and push in. Actually, no, it is 2 people. They need to get out and push at this point, because if it gets down to 1 minute, it's over. There's too much Blue 4 out in the distraction areas here. These two got stuck in a 2v2. They got distracted. They just don't know where in the compound this cache could be. I would bet it's the white building, though. But these guys are too scared to push out. That's a smoke grenade. See, the funny thing is those AP rounds could tear into that building and just check if there's anything in there, but I think this is GG. 40 seconds remain, as seen on the top right. One is dead, the other one I think is bandaging back here. They're not gonna do anything. What a crazy round this was. We got one guy sprinting up. 20 seconds. Please tell me you didn't just grenade your own dude. Okay. Yeah, they dismounted too late. 4. Overtime. I stand corrected. That doesn't get the grenade kill right there. Hold on. This changes everything. Overtime rules got called in. Polish Pepe just got a kill with the 249. One of the two just died to a grenade. Another guy came up and got eliminated. We're down to one guy over here. One guy on Overwatch. Op4 only has 2. This is a 2v5 at this point. Grenades going into this compound. It's up to Capata. And it's up to Polish Pepe, but Polish Pepe needs to be moving in here ASAP, because if Capata goes down, Polish Pepe doesn't look like he's making it to the sector, and I don't think he has to be in the sector for overtime to be called. I have not seen an overtime being called in a long time. Overtime rules is if there's one objective remaining, if Op4 is in the zone of the objective, overtime is called. If Capata dies, it's GG. If Capata somehow wins a 1v4 right here, oh, man. We could be here another few minutes. I noticed that everyone complaining bet Blue 4. The zone is the area around the cache. I'm not going to curse him with the inner thing, because that's a caster curse at this point. I want to see if we can actually do it. It's giving Pepe time to run down. But he does have someone watching him. Tim's on 4 kills. Good God. Did he just... No. Wait, yes he did. And he's dead. GG. All right. There you go. He went 1-1. He still lost, Chuckleheads. You're fine. All right, we're going into round 3. We'll see how all of that goes. All right, let's see how they play this round. Poor Steve. My God. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for sticking with me for these 2 rounds. Let's see what round 3 brings us. I do agree. I think that LAV with, you know, double digits in kill count, and then the driver dismounted and got a few more kills. I mean, that's what literally took out a good chunk of their player base. Oh my gosh, it's a 3 faction. It is a freaking 3 faction. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me go ahead and I'm going to change up the music a little bit. play a song we haven't played in a while. One that's a little close to my heart. All right. Map is Ruha. This is round 3, where it's going to be a blue 4 and green 4 are attacking 3 op4 terminals. Blue and green have a 5% numbers advantage. A Bell 412 helicopter. Transports. And that's it. Wow. Op4 has 212.7 statics between the Dishka and the Cord. All right. It's been a while since we've seen a 3-faction fight. In this case, it goes either one of 2 ways. Either it's all 3 factions trying to kill each other, in which, you know, Audrey Hotto made his namesake. But this one is 2v1 faction. And yes, I will go ahead and set up the payout. Oh. Wait. Oh, freaking. Hold on. There we go. Accidentally closed the chat out there. There we go. So the winner here was blue 4 on defense. Awesome. Maybe that'll also fix my commands. All right. And we have another quote-unquote hydrate. I'll go ahead and take a sip. And we'll see how round 3 goes and how they'll divide everything. We're down to about 85 players for round 3. And we'll see how all this goes. I know, right? That was an overtime script that fired off for that. And I completely forgot overtime was a thing. I did just pay it out. So you should get your points. You should have got them by now, at least. But now they're starting to slot. And overall, I think FNF has been pretty all right today. Is Steve still here? I don't know. Yes, he is. He went to Op4. There you go. This is Cops and Robbers. It's Cops and Robbers PvP. All right. You know what? No, we're gonna do Bentusi instead. I'm just feeling it a bit better. What does DD stand for? Probably his community. In which case, that would be a Malin question. Is there a link for the mission? No. What do you mean by that, Money? It's a German. Okay, Malin, that's one way to put it. Sure. Righto, Sparkle. Alright, well, let's have a look. Green 4 has platoon lead. Alpha and Bravo and Hotel. Blue 4 has company lead with Charlie and Delta. So they basically taken the faction, split it in half so they can have 2 different groups. And then Op 4 is going to have company and then Alpha, Bravo, Charlie. So that means the Blue 4, Green 4 coalition has to waste a few slots on having a second level of command on Green 4's side. I thought there was usually a dock for mission. That is OFCRA and IDC. FNF does not do docks because they run 6 missions every week across 2 branches, so they don't have the time to make the docks on top of making all those missions. OFCRA only runs 1 mission a week, so they have the time to do that. And then IDC usually runs it once a month, so, you know, they have the time to do that. No, it's all good, man. Now you know. Now we chill. So I think they're just organizing down these 87 players. And I'm doing all right. I'm just relaxing. There's a regular hydrate I missed. Just want to take today on the easy side between today and tomorrow because the next major thing I have to do is Zeus for Karma Cuts community tomorrow. But I'm going to spend the next 2 days catching up on video editing, making... getting ahead on mission file development. I want to finish up the World War II mission dev, finish up the weekend dev, finish a project for RT Columbia, and then I can give myself plenty of prep time on Monday and Tuesday to do mod set testing for both the Last Ship campaign and the Halo campaign I have to do for April within my community. And beyond that, I don't have any other custom projects to work towards. So I might have some time to look into MCO and bringing that back. Yeah, true. They've got a 15-minute save start in the beginning of every FNF round, so that's your 15 minutes to quote-unquote make your dock. But yeah, for the Halo campaign, I'm thinking of doing a, you know, a small 4 or 5 mission campaign surrounding a PDF on a Covenant invasion. But I'm also thinking of having some special roles, either a group of ODSTs on training or even a Spartan or 2. So we'll see how all that goes. Probably some Oni stuff going on in the background. Just for funsies. I'd love to find some custom compositions of some Halo tunnel networks, though. I have one somewhere, but I know a few people I could probably ask and get some. Maybe I can bug Sorenza if he owes me a favor. But I don't want to do Arcadia again. I've done Arcadia so many damn times. So I'm also debating taking a small map and turning it into a Halo map. But we'll see. It's really going to fall to how much time can I allocate for that campaign, especially considering that Halo didn't win. It was the Last Ship that won. So that's going to get all my attention. But I think after I make the format for how I want to run that campaign, it's going to be really easy. But the Halo one's going to, you know, literally involve me creating entire areas. All right. So let's get into this final sector here. For it being quote-unquote cops and robbers, we'll see how things go. Blue 4 have a small spawn point up on the top right. Green 4 right in the middle of the AO, and then Op 4 has 3 different terminals right here. Based on the distance being less than a kilometer and Blue 4 coming in, and we got another small Green 4 spawn point right here, which is also that might be their helicopter spawn point then. We'll see how this AO goes, but, you know, terminal tactics, we'll see how everything runs with that. But I'm thinking if I can really... I'm trying to think. Maybe if I pull an all-nighter on Saturday night, then we can, even for Sunday, because I only have one Zeus thing then too, I could get a lot of work done and then spearhead both the Halo and the Last Ship campaign, just by getting those 1 or 2 World War II ops I want to do out of the way, finishing up the final SCP op. Because the reason I've been so busy the past, like, 4 weeks is because I've had commission jobs to do. Between paid ones, the one coming up for Karma Cut for tomorrow, Artsy Columbia, all of these, you know, special working things, there was also the MWU stuff. But now that my time's going to free up, I should have time to, you know, really dedicate myself to all that stuff. Let me go ahead and start up the prediction for you guys. Then Op 4 is defending. Set that to 15 minutes. There you go, guys. Sorry about that. But I'll probably... Actually, no, I do need to finalize the plan because I'm going to have a town hall meeting concerning my community, and those 2 campaigns concern my community. So I'll have to look at that. I know the next Vietnam project is probably going to be announced in 2 weeks, but, I mean, that's going to give me plenty of time to do stuff. I just know things are going to be a little bit difficult with timing during mid-April because I have Greek Easter, so I'm going to lose a Saturday. I'm going to lose another Saturday because I want to host an IRL game night. And so Sundays are going to get really busy. But, yeah, I should have enough time to get everything done. But I'm just talking to myself. Wishful thinking. I have a lot of fun things planned. Let's get everything down, guys, and go ahead and look at the mission here. Another mission made by Depso. Wow, Depso really did work tonight. Background: law enforcement agencies conduct raids in various locations attempting to stomp out a large criminal organization in one go. One of the raided locations is the presumed HQ of their leader. Now, after it's been surrounded, preparations are being made to storm the place. The criminals prepare to defend their positions to the last man, knowing they cannot escape and not willing to rot in jail for crimes that they've committed. Notes: law enforcement officers, specialized training, are Blue 4, are the ones capable of hacking the terminals. If they all died, the only chance of winning is the police officers, independent, to eliminate all the criminals. So if all Blue 4 dies, they can't do the main objective, so they have to rely on Green 4 to actually wipe everyone. That's an interesting twist. I appreciate that. Mission rules: Safe Zone 2 for Blue 4 and Independent is meant to be a place to plan the operation. Everyone should be on their respective sides before Safe Start ends. So that is the combined area right here, and so they can coordinate. All right, I like that. Looking at the rest of everything here, both sides, we'll see if there's an echo on anywhere. I doubt there's Matt anywhere, though, because there's not a lot of stuff here. So, mission variables here: 1,500 meters of render distance for both sides. No magnified optics nor NVG equipment per either side. Defender build point is, their fortify points is doubled. The default number is 125. This is going to be up to 250. So we'll see how all that goes. Looking at Op 4 first, since they're right here. Uniforms: organized crime gang uniform. I love it. Oh, bust out the frickin' Audius is here. I love it. Loadouts are, they're calling their leader Mafia Boss. I love it. AK-74 is modernized, so it's basically Russian-based weaponry, RPKs, PKPs, RPG-7s, PP-2000s, AKSs, yada-da. Nothing on crew-served weapons. They got a static cord, standing turret, and a standing Dishka. Both are going to have 250 rounds of 12.7. Otherwise, looking at Op 4's roster, the Mafia Boss is Steve. I'm waiting for Sparkles to type in caps. I knew it. Anyway, Kabubi Face leading Alpha. Mark as the marksman. Marksman rifle is going to be the SVD. Grav leading Alpha 1 with Roofy as the machine gunner. Autovisky as a grenadier. And Vagrant as an explosive specialist. Norris leading Alpha 2 with Chult, Higgs, Bates, and Soyboy under him. Suleiman's leading Bravo with Crazy as the 2IC. Cameron as the marksman. Mackenzie as the medic. No one leading Bravo 1, so it falls to the machine gunner, which is Gus as the auto rifleman with Gogu, Fila, Pro Hunter, and RB. NASA leading Charlie with 6 me as the marksman. Settler as the medic. Bluck leading Charlie 1 with Pirate Sandwich, who is on the cord right now, or was. Masano. Lolo and Wombat also under the group. Pogo _ leading Charlie 2 with Kermit, Ivno, Tymic, and Depso. Arma Jesus leading Delta with Michael and Flux under him. Flux being the 2IC. Moneyman and Keen taking the PKPs. Shuffles leading Delta 2 with Zoni and Artisan taking the PKPs. All right, let's go ahead and look at the closest faction over here. This is going to be Green 4 as the local police force. This is their Bell helicopter. It doesn't have any armament, but it does have a camera, so that allows them to do reconnaissance. They're already testing out the sirens. Isn't that lovely? Ash is going to be leading. He is briefing with the other groups over with Blue 4. Major Khan as the marksman, and Banks as a driver right now, but it looks like he has a standard rifle there. Swola leading Alpha 1 with Savan, Wheaton, and Lurch. Tackleberry leading Alpha 2 with Bard, Patriot, and Capata. Shy leading Bravo with Charlotte, Curie, Olaf, Alexander, and Sam and Pearson Blam are going to be flying the helicopter as pilot and co-pilot so they can use the gun. Not the gun, excuse me, the camera. Puma is commanding the overall operation. Do they have Scar H's? Yes, they do. So they've got 7.62 by 51 NATO battle rifles. Interesting. That's going to pack a punch. Charles is going to be the 2IC there. Nemesis leading Charlie with Cullis as the marksman. Azariah as the medic. Marksman's going to be a Mark 11. Basically, similar platforms to the Scar, but with longer barrel and the scope. Katz leading Charlie 1 as the machine gunner with Flying Finn, Whiplash, Gabian, and Iander and Yanni Finn. Got tongue tied there. Keo leading Charlie 2 with Misfit, Legend, Nafs, and Tim Kappa. Prykel leading Delta with Quebec as the medic, Skipu as the 2IC, Rodrigue leading Delta 1 with Ant, Renly, Puma, and Alipuz, and Delta 2 being led by Polish Pepe with Jeremiah, Rambo, Dawidux, and Helianzar. Let's go ahead and look over their equipment. Blue 4 are your standard police black uniforms. All right, so your SWAT elements and whatnot. Weaponry is going to be Mark 18s or Mark 17 mod 0s, which are Scar H's. Glock 17s for their handguns, 249s for their light machine gunners, 240 Galstos, their medium machine gunners, light anti-tanks going to be M136, MP7 for crew and aviation. Actually doesn't matter because they don't have any of those assets. They have 2 MRAPs and a command off-road. Interesting. Green 4 is going to be standard police uniforms. Their loadouts are going to be Stayer Augs or HK 416s. Glock 17s as their secondary. Minimes for their light machine guns. FN Mags for their medium machine guns. LATs are going to be the M136s. Crew and aviation doesn't matter, but they have a P90. I love that gun. And their assets: 4 police SUVs, 3 police cars, and the Bell police helicopter.
Terminal 3 together at the same time, so we're gonna play it by ear and see how that goes, but that's the general plan of attack. So just find some vehicles. If you're the Green 4 forces, like I said, just try to be sneaky, hug that southern map border. If you're the Blue 4 forces, stick along the northern side, but we should have the trees to cover us. We'll try to get to the northeast side of the objective. Where am I looking here? Northwest side, my bad. Yeah, the northwest sides of the objective and the southwest sides of the objective, and we'll try to make an attack angle from in there. So, any questions?
We need to ferry people because of the vehicle.
We do need to ferry people? Alright.
Okay. Just only take 18 people into 2 Caimans, or what the hell they're called.
Yeah, they only hold 10. Fuck.
We'll ferry people and then we'll do it.
Okay, then yeah, it'll take some time. Alright, so Green 4 forces, you guys I think have more vehicles. So it's going to be important that you guys stay hidden because Blue 4 is going to have to ferry people, alright?
Yeah. I don't think Independent should use their vehicles because we're pretty close and they're going to hear our engines. So
yeah, they can just walk in, use the helicopter to scout though, and use the time that they're ferrying to get scouting data to see where they deploy.
View distance 1500, so it's very likely they're going to spot you.
Yeah, but they can still hear the engines, which that's the weird part.
All heavy machine guns inside this area. Fuck them up and then fall back.
I sir, we'll comply.
Nice.
So I heard them mention deploying their heavy machine guns somewhere before falling back, so they're just going to try to set up blocking positions, Op 4 in this case, to then pull back on objectives. We already see them starting to fortify rooftops here, making defensive lines around their areas here as well. That is very, very nice to see. And we'll just have to see how everything plays out. So with 8 minutes remaining, Blue 4 is probably going to funnel their forces up to here, going back and forth. Green 4 going to move in on foot, but they're not allowed to move into the AO itself until Blue 4 is ready, because it sounded like they're trying to do a coordinated attack. Either way, how to hit this AO, you got a nice force to the north, some force to the south. I would honestly bring Green 4 and Blue 4 together up here, and then come down the forest, have Blue 4 on one side, Green 4 on the other, and just hit these terminals systematically north to south because of how they're positioned, and just sweep the AO. Op 4 probably going to evenly divide amongst the terminals, not knowing where the attacks are going to come from, especially since they have 2 different factions to fight against. So I would just unify everything and use my numbers to my advantage and just do a clean sweep. But as I'm moving Blue 4 in, I can have Green 4 feed me information with the camera on this helicopter. I mean, look. He literally has a camera monitor inside that'll help him track everything. So that's all they need to do. And then once they find out where Op 4 is, they can just, you know, plan their assault accordingly. They have 50 minutes. They can spend another 5 or 10 minutes maneuvering their forces around to where Op 4 is weakest, get their foot in the door, and just sweep the area. But this is going to be a very nasty CQC fight. But the advantage is definitely on Blue 4 and Green 4, because this AO is really tough to defend. It's going to be very, very harsh on the CQC. But, I mean, that's kind of how Cops and Robbers goes, you know what I mean? A lot of stuff in the way. But you got Op 4 with that doubled budget for their points here, doing their best to make a lot of fortified positions. Definitely the weakest AO is the northern one at Terminal 3, because it's just one building, a lot of open area around it. That's pretty tough. Terminal 2 is okay. You've got some nice overwatch to the north. You got some nice buildings that you can build a lot of fortifications on with their point values. You also have this open area right here that you can fortify. That can help lock everything down. And then Terminal 1, a little on its own. It's got a road next to it, but again, kind of lacks the amount of buildings to cover from. You got a single one in here, but not a lot to work with. So it's kind of forcing Op 4 to divide their forces amongst all 3 to not really cover everything. But it's doable. Possibly, but again, it's tough. So it's just what you have to work with, essentially. Beyond all of that, let me explain how terminals work real quick, because I don't think I ever covered it properly. Yeah, it feels more like Battlefield Hardline, right? So, terminal hacking is really simple. In this case, only Blue 4 can do the terminal hacking, but once Blue 4 interacts with the terminal, a 60-second timer will start. Let me see real quick on game mode. Yep, it is 60 seconds. At any time, Op 4 can then interact with the terminal to pause the timer. But if the terminal does not get interrupted, it'll count down from 60. Once it is done, the terminal will then self-destruct. But at that point, even before it self-destructs, once the timer runs out, the terminal is quote-unquote taken and cannot be recaptured. The attacking factions, in which case Blue 4 and Green 4, have to hit all 3 terminals or wipe the entirety of the enemy before the 50-minute rounds are up. And Op 4 needs to at least hold 1 terminal or wipe all the attackers, in which case this is Green 4 and Blue 4. But the unique twist here is Blue 4 is the only side that can actually hack the terminals. Green 4, if Blue 4 all gets wiped, they then have to wipe the entirety of Op 4. So it gives a little added twist and a slight advantage to Op 4. But that's something you can't really bank on as a commander. That's more of an opportunity thing that happens with the PvP. So we'll just have to see how this goes. Do I have my own Discord? I do, Yabba. It's under !Discord, and I no longer work with TSB, so yeah. But no, I run all my ops through my own Discord now, unless I've been asked by another community to go work for them. So 506, POG, RT Columbia when I Zeus for them, the Vietnam guys, Karma Cut tomorrow, past ops I've done, MWU, 700 Cadian, that sort of stuff. Oh, you could totally put sandbags under this building and cover this. I mean, that would be a dastardly tactic, but as soon as you put the sandbags down here, the attacker is going to know what you're doing. You know what I mean? So, that's just something you got to think of. All right. So, again, the first 5 or 10 minutes is going to be dedicated to Blue 4. bringing things over, but it's going to be a bit of a slow start. I need to edit it 4:18. I'll probably edit it when this stream ends, because I noticed that like last week, and I just haven't gotten around to editing it because I've been so focused on Pay for Pain. And I'm happy I focused on Pay for Pain, because yesterday's Pay for Pain was really, really fun. That was probably one of the most balanced Pay for Pains we've had in a while. But it was also greatly in part to the fact that Zeus Enhanced updated to add a key binding for binding multiple items to an object at the same time, which made it so easy to do it. Why don't I work in TSB anymore? That is too long of a conversation for me to have right now, but I am having a town hall meeting in my Discord for everyone with an ARMA tag tomorrow at noon Eastern Standard Time, and the first thing I'm going to cover is why I left, because I want to basically explain how I'm going to be running ARMA ops in that community. Really, it just comes down to disagreements and how I don't like working with other people when it comes to quality assurance. And I hate to word it like that because that makes it sound like I don't like doing commissions for others, which I do. It's just when it's my name on it, when I'm hosting something and then other people are able to run amok, then I get a little annoyed. And in TSV's situation, there was just too many things that I didn't have control of that I wanted control of. And it's also led to a few other things. But again, I'll talk about it tomorrow during that town hall meeting, which again, the more I think about it, the more I kind of want to stream it just so I can have it like on the VODS channel as something for people to reference who miss it. So, and then I can just post a link in there and go, this was, you know, the town hall meeting we hosted on this date, and then that can help me organize it. So I probably will stream it. Yeah, exactly. So people that can't make that time can do it. It's just I also have a Q&A section there, but I guess I'll have to make up a system of if people want to ask questions but they won't be available, they can post it in a channel, and I can get to those immediately. It's not even anything good in terms of tea. It's just creative differences. Alright, so Op 4 also sending a lot of forces out here. Green 4 is going to be taking a long way around because they got to wait for Blue 4 to ferry their forces. I also love how there's a little thing right here to block it off. It's kind of funny how they have a Europe. At least I think that's Europe. The inland part of Europe on the flag right there. And again, I could be completely wrong. So Blue 4 going to be ferrying forces in, and is that Altus? Did I just completely forget what Limnos looks like? You're absolutely right, that is Limnos. Gosh, I'm an idiot. Anyway. Can anyone join my ops? Yeah. Yeah. That's something I'm never going to change. But again, I will explain all this tomorrow. Because it's, like, finally time I put it down on paper, and we'll go everything in the systems and how everything works and yada-yada. Op 4, sending 2 forces down on the southern side. Blue 4, again, going to deploy somewhere around here and ferry their forces in. We're going to be spending the first 5 minutes just letting them all ferry in. We'll see how things go. Yeah, I mean, technically it's still Europe, right? And yes, Blade, this is the 3rd round of FNF. What time tomorrow? It will be at noon Eastern Standard, only accessible to people that have an ARMA tag. Simply because that's the focus I want to go for the moment. And then maybe after 2 or 3 town halls, I'll open it up to the public. It's really just baby steps with me, but... So they're taking fire. Oh god, the hull's already red. Holy crap, a machine gun just tore it apart.
fucking great. Oh, this is really great.
That is incredibly based. They built a tower. That chopper has been shot down. I cannot believe it. That's amazing. Why is he pink? That's Malin. He's kind of the de facto leader of FNF right now. That right always goes to Dingo, but Dingo's always busy with his job. So Malin kind of runs everything, so he runs as kind of the administrator in the shadows. But that's why you always see him in chat, too, and why I ask him FNF-related questions, because he's become the kind of the recognized leader at that point. So Blam walks away. Pierce is still cooking inside, and, you know, half tempted to say something mean like, and nothing valuable is lost, but nah, I like Pierce. I like him too much. When things started, I didn't really like the risks he took, but as I saw other leaders doing things in FNF when I first started out streaming, I realized that his level of commanding was needed to keep things interesting. Not the Pierce Gambit, my child, no! So for those of you that know what I'm talking about, all I have to say is Pierce play. For those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, Pierce is the commander that will come up with some of the craziest plays that 9 out of 10 times will not work, but that 1 out of 10 time, everything will go his way, and he will win an AO in like one of the most spectacular fashions you've ever seen. It got so hectic that he got banned from commanding, but he's been recently unbanned, so it's been great to watch. Ay, ay, ay. So Blue 4 have a majority of their forces funneled up here. Pierce is still cooking in that chopper. Op 4 have set out a bunch of guys in the forested areas to kind of get a buffer zone so they know where forces are coming from. The attacker has opted to keep both of the factions separate to do a north and south joint attack at the same time, which is just going to mean Op 4 is going to stay divided because they can't do anything about that, and this is just going to go down to PvP. With not really a lot of tactics and coordination of Blue 4 and Green 4, it's just throw everything at the wall and hope it sticks. And I think Pierce just bled out, and he is dead. I'm not going to lie. This AO might have actually benefited from one group attacking early on to make everyone turn around and think that's where the main fight's coming, and then attacking with the other group on the rear. However, a plan like that immediately falls on its face, too, because the enemy commander is going to be anticipating 2 different groups attacking from 2 different angles. Now, if it was one faction versus one faction and you did that, that is usually a very good play to call. They just have to coordinate it appropriately. Hey, Kitsune, what's up? So we got the MRAPs driving around up there. Funny enough, though, in mid to late April, I do have a unique commission. Someone has given me pictures of their actual farm, and they want me to make an op related to their farm about it. So I'm going to turn it into a marijuana farm and have them defend the AO or attack it. I'll do a coin flip, or I'll ask the person. But just seeing all these police kits and seeing this, you know, Cops vs. Robbers style PvP, it just reminded me of that. I'm curious what Blam's going to say. Hi. Weeding out the weak. Don, I'm going to reach through my monitor and slap you for that one.
Follow Delta.
Do you have a medic?
Do you have yeah, because he just got shot down of a chopper, so of course he's going to probably need a bit of a patch-up.
Please help.
But yeah, these guys are, they got 3 CB factions, which has a lot of nice police stuff, so. Oh, no, we're not playing Warlocks again. God, we need to have another freaking game night for Warcraft 3. I kind of want to rebuild the Arma section of my Discord community, get that going for a good another 3 to 6 months, and then we can start branching off to other games again. I'd love to set up a dedicated DayZ server, for example, and just rotate out different games. Just to kind of rebuild myself, because I had all that built up in TSB, and then that kind of kicked the bucket. But again, we'll talk about that tomorrow. Yeah, because Blizzard are... It's not even Blizzard's fault. Blizzard wouldn't do that. It's Blizzard Activision. It's the Activision side of that that's screwing with them. Alright, so Blue 4 is dividing into two groups right here. I hope they do not separate too much. Green 4 is starting to come around here. I'm going to look at Zixme. He's watching Green 4 moving. So Op 4 have confirmed eyes of Green 4 moving around over here. They're calling them blueberries, indicating it's Green 4 because they've got that kit.
Indie, please.
And it looks like people are talking on the net to indicate that the quote-unquote blueberry kits are the Green 4 units.
Stay there and hold
So now they're looking for Blue 4, but I think they're going to figure out soon that this is a pincer attack. Now we wait. Drink the water. I'm almost out. I am also out of quote-unquote hydrate, and this time I had a big meal with it, so it's not hitting me as hard as pay for pain. Bluck.
Yep, eyes on contact.
Starting to get eyes on these guys. So now they're going to realize that it's a pincer maneuver here.
That's so we've got the whole Blue 4 element on us.
It's interesting. The Green 4 is going to probably try to loop around like that. But you see that Op 4 is making a defensive line right here for those guys. These guys are pulling back over here. They got to find a place to make a defensive line up there. But we're probably another 10 minutes away before we see any action kick off, because now it's just a lot of maneuver time for either side to get in. So, with that said, how is everyone's Friday? I hope everyone's excited for the weekend. Hope everyone can get a nice break from the working weekdays, right? But nonetheless, I just want to say thank you all for being here. I hope you've been enjoying the rounds, whether you were here since round 1 or you're just joining us now. Hope you get a nice kick out of this third round. Hey, righto, Saint. Have fun, Kitsune. I'd say I'd catch up with you, but I got too much work to do this weekend. Otherwise, I'd probably just take another 5 or 6 shots and pass out. No break till Sunday. Sorry to hear that, Yabba. Civ, I'm sorry to hear that too, man. Go get yourself something to eat. Watching Fubar Friday, can't ask for any more. Well, likes to watch, I bet, because it's in your name, right? And again, I am out of the quote-unquote hydrate. There's still a little bit of a sip right here. But beyond that, it's empty. So Blue 4 separated into 2 groups. We got Charles back here. Ah, he's stripped naked. He's painted himself green. And now he's speaking nonsense. Why are you actually naked? Because it would still show your vest. Oh, man. Why are they naked, Squidward?
I'm about to go.
Eat the bottle. Ah, yes, Don. Thank you. They're checking their route. Opfer's already pulled back, though. Bluck's trying to figure out where they're moving. When's the next pay for Liru pain? Good question. I need to find a new DayZ server, but I'm at least going to do Shrimp Nautica on Thursday on my birthday and let you guys torture me.
Yeah, betting.
Yes, you did. Congratulations, Charles now has pants on.
I got shot down.
Huh?
I got shot down.
I think he's asking how. That letter. Charles is now Twitch appropriate.
Widzicie, pamiętam, kurwa, bo jesteśmy w lesie, debil.
Forcefully clothed for Twitch standards. Reinforced still maneuvering
Oh, yeah,
around.
no, eyes on. That's it, they're back on the old position. They're flying updated now.
No VOD deletion today.
Tymek, zamknij pizdę.
Until someone says or does something absolutely asinine.
Jest tyle tych mrówek jebanych. No wyjść. Debilu, tam gdzie my byliśmy. Tam gdzie Depso, kurwa, skrócić tym peretem pedale.
Well, the robbers are being especially silly tonight.
Ale ich jest chuj. Ej, gleba. This is Team Poland. There's a shit ton of them going away.
Why are they laughing?
No, like, they're pretty much at their old position. They're like 150 away from us, 200 max.
Yeah, he is about right with that call. Let him pass and hit him on the rear and follow them in. That's not a bad call.
Kurwa. Ej, gleba jak coś. Nikt nie wstaje, gleba. Kompletnie.
Nie ty.
Pokaż skopa na chwilę.
Tymek, chodź tu bliżej. Ej, tych kurwa czarnych jest tyle, że...
I don't think they know that they're there.
No nie wychylam się.
Because when they call out that they're there, you usually see everyone on the line looking in that direction.
There's a lot of TT.
What?
We'll switch to Whisper once we're closer.
Yeah, they'd be switching to Whisper now if they knew there were targets that close.
Kurwa, oni idą do nas.
Dobra, gra. Co robimy? Tak, co robimy?
Nie wiem. Cicho.
Podłożyć pakę tutaj? Podłożyć bombę?
I'm waiting to see who's gonna notice. He's looking right up at their position, but he keeps looking down at his gun.
The order was given.
What mod sets, Lucio, for who? Is Steve alive? Steve is Op Force Commander, so yes, he is still alive. Oh, this is hilarious.
Kurde, ale patrz ten blaka, on wygląda jak kamikadze taki.
Charlie 1, push closer towards the team out of near.
There goes Nem, and there goes Cullis. But now the cat's out of the bag. GL knocks out Timex. Settler gets tapped by the Mark 16. Depso still up there. Cat's knocked out. Explosives being thrown. Depso on 2 kills with that charge. Another satchel going out. Woo! Blam and Keo trying to get him. Naps joining in on the shooting. Bluck is still alive. Depso is, he's dead. Nasty angle to be sprayed down by Keo's 249 right there. They're calling the contacts over with. Looking towards the south, we have this.
On scout mark, we have enemies.
Yeah, Yeah, Bluck noped out of there immediately. Sam goes down.
They're really close.
Fila goes down.
We might not be able to.
He's got the GL. He could do a lot of damage if he gets on the right position. Sam wakes back up.
Probably die.
Fila wakes back up. Tries to put a GL on Sam. And he gets headshotted. Well, he was right. He probably was gonna die. And he died. GG. He's got a Dishka right here. Smoke grenades popped. Still got Fila up here. He's in grenade range. If he tosses a few frags out, he could get a lot of kills here. Spots Patriot. Knocks him out. And Savant double taps him. Looking towards the north, you got Schult laying in an ambush position right here. You got Mark close by as well. Bluck has come around here. So we got some encirclements on these positions here. Schult just got a kill. It's making Blue 4 look around here for him. So Op4 doing their best to try to utilize a few people to get some early ambushing is seemingly working out a bit, but it could very well be Blue 4 and Green 4 lose a few guys and then just continue to steamroll. You got some defensive lines being made as well to stop any incursions coming in. But Green 4 might also link up with Blue 4 and then sweep north to south right here. They did talk about hitting Terminal 2 and Terminal 3 at the same time, so Green 4 pushing there as Blue 4 pushes north. Could really just sandwich all the remaining Op4 forces since they're not opting to hold Terminal 1 down there. This will be an interesting fight, though. Seeing who beats out on Op4's most heavily manned defensive line, but they're already starting to break forces apart. Really, it's just I'm worried about all these Op4 coming around on this defense line right here. And then Schult with some GLs, well placed, can easily get some multi-kills here. Blue 4 is definitely keeping the momentum going, though. Not letting a lot slow them down. So they're getting into position. And then where they don't have a strong defense line, they have one for Green 4 because they don't have any forces to come around and flank them immediately. But you see that the flanking force is starting to engage up with that small ridge group. That can allow Bluck an opportunity here. The force on the right's pulled in. But it looks like you do have Schult spotted here as he was trying to line up some GLs. But they're landing a little far back here. Schult gets knocked uncon. Honestly, try to get up to grenade range. Put some well-placed grenades in the cover they're using right here, and you'll be able to get quite a few kills with them. But the trick is sneaking up there. Looking over here, you got Green 4 in some more barren areas here with a lack of grass. Throwing grenades back and forth here. He's going to run right into these two guys, but he doesn't look left. Wait. Oh, he just saw him. Come around on the left and spray Artisan down. And he got Schnuffles. Double tap Schnuffles there. Now he needs to make sure they're both dead by double tapping. Amazing play by Alexander right there. He's getting shot in the back, though. Knocked out, but he's able to get the double tap kill on Schnuffles there, so Flux gets him. Flux is also the one with the aircraft kill, which is funny enough. that defensive line doesn't have a lot left. You had King also try to push up, but he got taken out. Luck on the rear here trying to fire at this force. That's keeping two individual Blue 4 groups pinned by marauding forces here, allowing Op 4 a little bit of opportunity to try to get up and eliminate Green 4 over here, but they're not able to do much, and they're getting cut down at this point because there's just too few Op 4 trying to move into a very big chunk of Green 4 forces here. I don't think there's going to be much lost to Crossfire in all honesty, but that remains to be seen. Just since Blue 4 is going to be hitting this objective and Green 4 is meant to go into that central objective to stay out of each other's lines of fire. But the Blue 4 force has now been kind of pinned and encircled by just some remnant Op 4 in every direction, which is causing them not to be close enough to start assaulting Terminal 3, so defenders of Terminal 3 are starting to trickle over to get this team over here. GL is going everywhere at this point. That is an explosive charge. I think Michael's going to be able to get away in time. Still gets knocked out. Those things are finicky, man. Armor Jesus Seven getting into a 1v1, but Seven also takes fire from the defenders Cameron and Gus on the Overwatch position right here. Both an RPK and an SVD firing. I don't have any souls to give you. Another charge goes off. Seen some grenades going down that could threaten Michael, and it knocks him out. Got a nice battle line being formed by Green 4 here. A few guys on the southern side to come around as well. Blue 4, meanwhile, Schult woke back up. He's gotten a bit closer. He's on 3 kills right now, and he's starting to harass his Blue 4 team as they go in unsupported because the other half of Blue 4 is busy with the marauding forces back here. I feel like Op 4 might be in a good position here, but now that that pincer attack's being done, the rest of Op 4 can be bypassed as these two forces combine and move north to south to take the rest of these terminals. Really, it's anyone's game at this point. Neither side has really shown a distinct advantage, except Green 4 starting to get a little held up right here, and Blue 4 moving in with only 1 squad. There's still a good chunk of Op 4 defenders, but the terrain right here is not really favorable to Op 4, and it looks like they're trying to pull their statics back right now and actually forego this sector. I do see a tripwire mine on it, though, so that could give them a free kill. You gotta remember, only Blue 4 can actually hack with the terminals. If they all go down, it's up to Green 4 to just eliminate all Op 4 AI. Commanders are still alive, Steve is still alive, Puma is still alive, and Ash is still alive. That was a little bit of a missed-thrown grenade, but thankfully it was only a satchel. Charles interact with the terminal, but something blew him up. Looks like he was shot by Vagrant and double tapped by Vagrant. Terminal counting down, but I don't think they're going to be able to risk going up and interacting with that terminal there. Nope, Vagrant's going to go for it. Very risky to do, but in this case, he might get away with it. Because one Blue 4 member ran up there. Paused at 33 seconds. Vagrant taking a knee to catch a quick breath. You have Rodrigue knocking him out, though, before he can get back into cover. How's Schult and Mark doing? Schult still on those 3 kills. Mark is a marksman, though, but he's closing a little too close for comfort with the SVD. Schult gets 1 kill, 1 shot off. Helenars takes a shot from Mark, and Schult's immediately pulling back to get his free kill. Mark does not, and takes fire. Ivno gets knocked out by Whiplash, and Keo firing up at him. We'll see if Whiplash double taps. He does, and Ivno is dead. So this group can then wipe what's here and then pull back. Block still on no kills because he's been trying to find a proper angle. Vagrant woke back up, though, and he is pulling back to form a better defensive area around Terminal 2. Green 4 still caught around right here, but if Blue 4 can make a push north to south, they can flank it, but they're just too far away. The heat of battle is pulling forces in so many different directions that they're not able to capitalize on their number advantage, and I think Green 4 is just piecemealing the remaining forces that are actually hitting the objectives. Cholt still on that 4th kill. Mark has pulled back a different direction. Cholt, I think, took fire, though, so he's being incredibly cautious to move around. These are all players. There's no AI. Cholt, short shots GL here, trying to stay behind the tree, but he's being slightly flanked, so Cholt rolls a little to the right. He can poke his head up and get a good GL. That's all he needs. Halinar's desperately trying to get the headshot, ends up getting the knockout and the double tap headshot, and he's dead. Roderick on top of the terminal again. You got Tripwire right here. That's the barrel of this dude's gun, actually, so it's not going to be effective. Interact's going to go down. 33 seconds continuing. Green Force still on this ridge, but unable to move down, and they're just slowly getting more and more picked apart as they fight the remainder of Op4's brunt of the force right here. We've only got a handful of guys still out here, but one of them just got picked up by Halinar's there. Got Wombat and Pirate trying to pull back with Blue 4 hot on their tail. Bluck still trying to flank around, but still on no kills. So Op4 have also pulled a few guys back to the site they originally abandoned, realizing that these are going to be the two that they have to hold. Green 4 starting to make a move. I think Green 4 and Blue 4 have a pretty significant number advantage here. We just don't notice it yet. There is the hack completing, also destroying that mine. We have players like Zoni trying to get into positions to do some small counterattacking here, but if Op4 is unable to piecemeal Green 4 in time and Blue 4 are able to bring all their QRF down, I think we're just going to see all these guys overwhelm the remaining 2 sectors. 20 minutes remaining, but I think this op is going to be done by then. We have a Green 4 knockout there on Alexander. Oh, look at this. I always love these tense little moments. Hears them. He's just waiting them out. But he hasn't told anyone because he might be too close to radio, so everyone's going to bypass. And Iander doesn't have any grenades to throw. Sprays him down. Wombat's making a run for it. Alright. Now you got Wheaton coming right up to this position. Sprays at Pogo. Kermit gets a few shots on Wheaton. Pogo spraying wildly. And Wheaton gets knocked out by Kermit. Wild grenade throw. Pogo in cover. Another wild grenade throw. Pogo not in cover, but he's got the range. Swola takes shots. Now you got Olaf pushing up past here next to Alexander's body. Blue 4 have actually turned around now because Iander was able to get the radio report out, so they're trying to hunt those forces. But again, that's caused them to stall. Just heard some sort of explosive over here. Don't know what that was about. Op4, 19 minutes. Crazy, since I last looked at the time, it was 20 minutes, but it feels like a lot more than a single minute's gone by. It's those slow moments, man. They slow time down, I swear. Blue 4's got a pretty nice position right here to utilize into assaulting that next position. Courtesy of Op4's defensive line. You got Vagrant and Roofy trying to come around and counterattack. Vagrant on 4 kills. We'll see if he can gain any more, but some harassment on Blue 4 as they come in. Green 4 only down to a handful of guys, so now you really have to see Blue 4 move in. So Op 4 did a great job of piecemealing what they could. But they could only do so much because Blue 4 got distracted. They were able to take out Bluck and Wombat there with some explosives and marksmanship, but I think the damage has been done. It's still really anyone's game. If Blue 4 had moved a little quicker, I think with Green 4 they would have been able to overwhelm the remaining 2 objectives, but now there's still a decent chunk of Op 4 on the field. Kermit. Oh, that door stops them from seeing each other. I feel like Kermit might have heard those footsteps, but he instead moves back into the barn. Hold on, look at this. Throwing some grenades inside the trench. Not real. Wait, they are in the trench. Oh, Vagrant gets blown away, but they got 2 kills in there. Roofy now looking around. Tries to get some shots on Puma, who is Blue 4 ground command here. Roofy takes a shot to the side of the head and gets knocked out. So 2 for 2 right there. Op 4 cannot afford to trade evenly right now, though. They got to be a little more aggressive. You got Zoni right here with a PKP gun, waiting for Blue 4 to come down, and maybe he'll be able to get a few kills. You've got Charlotte back here. Plus, she did a freaking name change. I'm still getting used to it, but doing Overwatch on the terminal site. 3 kills, though. Not bad. You got Puma coming around. Roofy woke back up. Terminal time is 60 seconds. There's 17 minutes left in the round, though. We just saw someone get blown away right here by some machine gun fire. That might have been by Nafs, who is up a kill. Or that could have been Keo. But I think Keo already got someone, so I think that was Nafs. Suppression going on. Zoni's on -1 kills, funny enough. Which means he's killed a friendly. Roofy gets knocked out by Sleepy. See, it's funny, if Zoni looked north, he'd see all these people in the open and potentially be able to get a kill or 2. So instead, he's waiting out what's up here. Oh, Keo gets shot in the head. Nafs ran up. Green and Blue are on the same side. Op 4 is the opponent. Blue is a SWAT-style force. Green are the local police, which don't have a lot remaining. And Op 4 are the quote-unquote robbers. For this cops and robbers scenario as the robbers do a last stand. 15-minute warning called. Let's do a head count. Never mind. Major Khan has a marksman trying to get a pick off of Kermit, but Kermit gets a headshot with a suppression with, I believe, an RPK. Yep. Volume of fire in close situations like that usually outperforms a marksman. At a medium range and a beyond, though, precision will do better, but at short range, it's usually volume of fire. Camred's in a bit of an open spot right here, doing his best. Whiplash coming up. Zoni turns. Mag dump him. I don't think he sees him. Yeah, it's too thick. Just guess. Zoni. Zoni, please. He's trying desperately to see him. There it is. Whiplash gets blown away. Zoni now on even scores because he had a friendly fire kill, so he's back at 0. God, that's a nasty spot. Keo woke back up. He's pushing. Rest of Blue 4 is pushing. So Green 4 were unable to interact with the terminals. Blue 4 was the only faction to do that, but Green 4, I think, is down to 1 player, which is Slushy as a marksman. Oh, right, yeah. No, there's been quite a few well-made bunkers here, Depso. I saw it earlier. Camred trying to get a shot on Iander. Just blew through his nose there. Zoni unconscious. So in a bit of frustration here. Terminal 2 in trouble here. Hack has started. Op 4 are down to 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 players. Blue 4, I think, have double that. 4, 8, and then the 9th with Charlotte, a.k.a. Slushy. It's 9v6? Where are the other Op 4? Because I only... Oh, because Roofy's unconscious. I don't count the uncon players. But I only see 4. Norris coming around, spots Naps and gets a great early shot on him. Needs the double tap. Norris actually stops it last second. That's crazy. Blue 4 was already moving on, thinking that they had it. Naps wakes back up. Hold up, Keo put some shots in Dowdox. Doesn't kill him. It's because he saw the SVD, so he assumed. That's the fun thing about the 249. You can just hold the trigger down and get the kill. We're down to 2 players. Zony's still on con 2, but I think Blue 4 has this. And it really just came down to the PvP. In all honesty. Just because Blue 4 and Green 4 could have had a little bit of coordination, but they got hung up. But I think there was just a little bit... It's hard to say, but, you know, Scandi, there's a reason they're top dog. Papega did really well on defense, but it just wasn't their call here. There goes that terminal. 12 minutes remaining. 2 forces in the way. Kermit and Pogo underscore pulling back. Blue 4 are down to 5, 6, 7, 8. Wait. 5, wait. Yeah, 8, and then Charlotte as a marksman. So I think they're rallying up at this point and deciding how to assault this last AO. The reason they're doing that is they don't know how many Op 4 are still alive, so they want to rally and push with the best of their ability. Iander might go on his own here, making his own route, and then Charlotte will push down from the side of the MSR.
Ej, dołącz do mnie, dołącz do mnie. I radio...
Are we allowed to shoot them from here if you see them, or is it like stealth?
This is a little bit of an interesting call, though. They're not taking the direct route. They're instead trying to follow the forest. That's going to create a bit of a kill zone right here as they cross. If Op4 had more manpower, they'd be able to capitalize on it. But then again, we got Kermit with 4 kills with this RPK, so he might be able to. He definitely sees movement over there. Got to wait for them to be a little bit closer before he makes any calls, though. Because it's 2v9 at this point. Ah, Kermit taking marksman fire, though. So she on a 4th kill. Might get Kermit here with a 5th. Hits Kermit in the back. Kermit, I think, just rolled down. No, he just went further up ahead. I think this bush is actually obstructing Charlotte's sight here. I don't say Inner Adriano because it caster curses people. I want it to be fair, okay? I know my taboo magic is strong. But I only caster curse when I want the round to end. And this one, I just want to see how well they do. Pogo trying to get some pickoffs over here. Pogo's about to get flanked. A 3v1 fight right there. Oh. Then again, I don't think Nas had his gun off. He was sprinting, so it was really Cats and Legends. But I mean, that's a 249 and a freaking Scar Rage, so he's not going to survive. Fine. I'll say it. Can Kermit channel his inner Adriano and win a 1 versus 9 since he's already up 4 kills with an RPK with the red dot scope? I think he can do it. 1v9 easy. Let's see what happens. yes, the cat has started shooting at the frog, its natural enemy. Kermit puts his head in the sand to avoid the fire, so he doesn't get headshotted. Kermit also just got a kill, but unfortunately, the house explodes. And that is GG. Blue 4 and Green 4 have won. I am out of alcohols, but I will take a last shot of this water to finish it up. That concludes FNF for tonight. Thank you so much for watching. Go operate operationally. Enjoy the rest of your day and night. Otherwise, cheers. And we'll be back later for some mission development. Have a good one.